Actually 2 weeks, I think. And
you have 2 weeks. So it's about, so let's say it's about $425. $425 a week. So if you take 400 units times 52, let's just do that. Let's see. I just want to see how much they're making.
That's 20,800.
That's 20,800 weeks times
how much?
Times he said 425.
$884,000 a year in fees, maintenance. Not to mention special assessments and everything else.
Now, that's for every week. We did that. We did 400 units times 52 weeks times that meant that. So that is maintenance on that. Anyway, so what is going on?
Well, the timeshare owning the timeshare isn't the problem. It's All Seasons Travel Group comes along for this amount of money. We're going to take the timeshare out of your name so we can use it for our,
see,
our inventory.
People get kicked in the teeth and ripped off when they buy it. Then they get kicked in the teeth when they have to maintain it. Then they get kicked in the teeth when people promise to get them out of it. So there's three rip-offs involved. The purchase, the maintenance, and the final rip-off kick in the face is when they promise to buy it from you. And let me guess, you paid them money.
Paid them money, and here's the issue.
How much did you pay them?
$2,400.
And what did you get for that?
I'm a member of their club, All Seasons. I am, and they keep sending me emails to book vacations, and you can.
I thought they said they were going to take it out of your name.
The timeshare, but not All Seasons. All Seasons is a travel group. They were supposed to move my timeshare into their name so they could use it. They are then the owners.
Did they do that?
They're supposed to have.
Okay, Dan, that would have been worse than the situation you're in now, because you can't get rid of a timeshare by deeding it to someone. The original paperwork doesn't recognize it. You're still on the hook for all fees. In other words, a timeshare is herpes. It's financial herpes. They never go away. Now, you might relieve the symptoms when some ripoff comes and promises to get you out of it. And then you pay, and you get the salve, and you put it on your herpes, and it seems like it goes away. But then months later, you get a notice saying, wait a minute, this new person did not make the payments, you're responsible for them, and then you have another outbreak of financial herpes. So, Dan, it doesn't matter if they did what they said. You were ripped off a third time. You were ripped off. And I'm not going to try to help you get them to put it in their name, because that would be worse for you. It's because you would have no control of the unit, yet you would be responsible for all the fees. So if you're calling because you want us to get a hold of All Seasons, we're not going to do it. You've already been ripped off. It's too late.
They're supposed to transfer in my name. The whole issue was, it's called Villas at Treetop.
What's the issue?
And Fairways.
What's the issue?
They're saying that I told them I owned at Villas at Treetops, and I really own at Fairways. Same place.
What difference does that make?
That's why they're saying they couldn't complete the transfer.
Dan, did you just hear anything I said? Even if they completed the transfer, you would be in worse condition than you are if they did not complete it. Did you hear that part?
I did, but you're saying they can't put it in their name?
No, they can. They can put it in their name and take full control. But you are still legally responsible for every single fee. Now, why would you do that? That is like handing your home over to somebody and letting them rent it out. But you're responsible for the taxes, the insurance, and the mortgage. Why would you do that?
I was unaware of that. How do you get rid of a timeshare?
Oh, Fancy, you should ask that. How do you get rid of a timeshare? Well, you can't sell it because no one wants it. You can't give it away because no one wants it. And even if you get someone to take it free, you, according to the paperwork, are still on the hook for every single subsequent owner. The paperwork you sign says, Dan, if you ever get rid of this timeshare, you are still responsible to us if any of those owners do not pay their fees. So the answer is, the only way to get out of it is to go back to the original developer or the one who now holds the authority and get them to release you. Now, the Finn Law Group does that. Timeshare Exit Team does that. Now, Timeshare Exit Team, we've had a ton of complaints about. They advertise heavily on iHeart, but I would be lying to you if I told you we did not have complaints. But they have handled every complaint we've sent to them so far. The Finn Law Group is another place that gets you out. And we've had no complaints about them.
And he's also the attorney, not just a lead generation company.
But I'm not going to fool you, okay? Yeah. Getting out of a timeshare legitimately will cost you anywhere from $5,000 or $6,000 up to $15,000. But they will get you released for life. So that's the only way to do it. Anyone who says they're going to sell your timeshare or deed it to someone or get it out of your name, they're just kicking you in the teeth again. So my recommendation is to cease all communication with All Season and to keep your timeshare, pay it until you get out of it legally.
And Thin Wall is your only advice, or, you know, that you've dealt with?
The Finn Law Firm and Timeshare Exit Team. I'm giving you both names. Now, Timeshare Exit Team, we've had complaints about. Finn, we have not. The complaints we've had on Timeshare Exit Team have been solved when we tell them about it. So you have to choose what you want. I would go to Finn if I was doing it.
Did it Thin Wall, just Thin Wall?
Why do you keep saying Thin Wall, okay? I'm going to get you off the air. Suzanne, would you tell him off the air? It's the Finn Law Group. F as in frickin' idiot. Law, it's Finn. F as in frickin' idiot. Finn. F as in financial herpes. The Finn Law Group. You know, I'm not mad at Dan, by the way. I'm mad at people getting kicked in the teeth. I'm mad at the timeshare people. I wonder how, you know what? I'll tell you the definition of stupid is when you talk to someone and they try to justify the ownership. That is the definition of a moron. Absolute moron. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Perhaps now's a good time to talk about the Raleigh House, which is addiction treatment. I don't want to make light of that. They have a number for people to call if you need information. The Raleigh House is a premier addiction treatment center, and they give out free information because they want you to make the right choice when it comes to addiction. Whether you go there or not is not their concern. What they want you to do is get proper information. The Salvation Army, for example, has a free program. The Raleigh House will tell you about that. They'll tell you about other programs. They'll tell you about their program. They'll tell you about insurance. They'll tell you about cost. They'll tell you about triggers for addiction. The holiday season is a big trigger for addiction. Call them if you need information on how to approach a drug addict, what to say, what to do next. 720-893-5559. This is the worst time of the year for addicts. 720-893-5559.
Yeah, I started. YouTube's probably going to drop it. What? YouTube keeps the same one when you go through there.
Thin Wall Group.
Says what? YouTube keeps the same stream going. If you do it.
Oh, I got you.
Facebook starts in
For the last 2 weeks, I've been trying to get a spark plug socket for my wife's Mercedes.
How was I going to get
It's a 12-point thin wall, 14.5 millimeter, with a step in it, and it's.
So would you play blackjack?
Mercedes made that 550 engine forever.
Just actually all my damage was on one slot machine.
Slot machine.
Yep.
Nothing in our voices. It's become thin wall because I was 14 millimeter 12-point stop. And it would go down to the
big huge one right in the front door. The sucker machine, I call it. But I hit it once,
about 3 inches.
so I always have this thing in the back of my head that maybe I'll hit it again.
a couple of years ago.
And I mean, I
sevens.
the funny part was,
Oh, yeah.
I think I had like 450, 500 in it.
Oh, 600.
Why do you keep saying the thin
Thin wall?
Thin wall, I don't know.
Thin wall conduit or a thin wall socket?
I don't know what he was. I don't know. It was kind of out of the blue.
CamSolar.com is the website. GoCamSolar.com/troubleshooter. GoCamSolar.com/troubleshooter.
Hearing aids don't work well.
Is offering
Ripped off the hearing aids too.
on a 17-month
What do you mean?
balances of $10,000 or more. Visit
Ripped off the hearing aids because he hears thin wall.
Membership is required. Conditions and restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
Oh, thin wall. Yeah.
Banking for everyone.
Hi, Colorado. Dan Zucchini, Dunbar Kitchen and Banners.
So how's it going, Brian?
Doing great. How are you?
Is business good?
Business is really good.
Bitcoin below.
I know, it's so low, man. It was
Some businesses at the end of the year, medical, want you get all their medical stuff done because they're deductibles. But some, is your business at the end of the year, they want some stuff done before the end of the year?
No, it's just season. So it's now it's
You
cold.
said you'd jump in
See, I
there.
don't know what to buy. I mean, like, how do you actually get a
People
real
actually
value of it?
they try to
You gotta
avoid
find,
getting
like,
stuff done with us right now
You gotta find
because of
like
Christmas.
Yeah.
a place that
But
takes it, like a casino.
yeah,
I would think just the opposite.
yeah, you'd think
And
too. I
then you
mean,
can actually get a real value.
if you communicate the right
You
way,
can't even do that 'cause
people
you gotta
see
find
the
like
value in doing it. But
like
if
Walmart
they just feel like you're trying to sell them something, oh, I'll wait till after the holidays. But if they truly understand, okay,
I could see that. Are you suffering with joint pain?
I don't want to have an issue with family coming over or through the holidays when I'm going to need it the most. If they truly get that, then
And if they trust her, so can you.
it's just
Call 303.
people are always prioritizing, you know.
The efficiency all new equipment too.
Until we get even
Yeah.
closer to the holidays. Whatever you
Yeah.
sell, you're going to be scrambling to send cards and gifts while making sure you keep doing all the other
But you know, when the furnace breaks down, it's cold out. I mean, people are going to put that off.
Subway?
Plumbing issue. But if it's
There's 100 companies
talking about
It's like I know
They had a special on them.
because you can use stamps.com. Stamps.com
Wikipedia takes it.
On the affair.
I'm sure because that's what they want people to
using
donate.
your own computer and printer.
So what's new and different? I mean, besides the paint efficiency ratings, the whole plastic chimneys,
Isn't it weird how they're all
was it anything recent years changed
Well,
on?
most are.
They're cheap air takes.
no, they just keep finding ways to make things a little bit more efficient, more integrated with like the smart home technology. So
I'm going to give you a list of who you need to delete out on Friday.
Close it, come on.
Because
Yeah.
Come
you
on.
won't.
the variable speed.
We're not here Friday, bro.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I mean, yeah, I built 2 weeks of pad in that we don't have to do
Well, it doesn't matter. I
Fine,
picked
most people
Thursday
now-
and Friday, so.
already. Okay, so I'll give you the
Really have
one.
two
No, you
kinds.
follow what I'm
One
saying?
that
The best
just
of will
wants to
actually
keep
have the
something
spots we
basic,
usually do.
No, I understand.
you know, minimize their costs, or
Yeah.
people that really want to go
We have
smart
to change that.
home,
We got to get our clock
green,
ready so we don't do this again. We have to
yeah,
start using
control
real
everything on their
data.
phone, you know.
Whole Foods
You know, we're
takes it.
right now trying to get a.
Whole Foods takes it.
That's an outside company.
Our Airbnb account.
There's not.
Did you get a
Wood.
flu shot this year?
Have that wood.
Still haven't got one?
So everything.
You're
We
gonna
have
die.
an energy.
Not gonna die.
Oh, wow.
18.
I done
You know,
mine.
once those are rebuilt.
I always get one.
Here,
Let's change.
that's for sure, because you won't read my schedule.
They're so.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. K&H. I love K&H. K&H Home Solutions. Ted has never let me down. I've known these people for so many years. K&H Home Solutions was K&H Windows. They started 62 years ago. I knew the original owner. Ted took over about, I think, 30 years ago. K&H Home Solutions now. Of course, they have a Black Friday special. You don't have to wait. 40% off windows and doors. You don't have to have it done, obviously, by this Friday. You just have to call and make an appointment, or call or go online, khwindows.com. 40% off windows and doors. 40% off. And those windows and doors are superior. You can shop, but you'll find the most durable, energy-efficient, custom-fit, beautiful windows at K&H. And then, of course, they have siding, Everlast siding, the best on the market. 303-421-7100, khwindows.com, khwindows.com. I have Fix It 24/7 in the house, plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. So if you have any questions on home services, give us a call. I have a question. I have a theory that emergencies only happen on holidays and at night. Never during the day between noon and 4.
You're exactly right.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
I'll bet you get most emergency calls. I'm talking about emergencies because you could have an emergency between noon and 4, but no one does.
Yeah, it's when people are home.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so what's the emergency you get? Drain clogging, I know for sure. They're cooking and they're putting their home to the test. So wouldn't you say drains number one?
Absolutely, especially with Thanksgiving around the corner.
Okay.
Drains. We
what
explode with drain calls.
It's going to be warm this week. You won't have too many heat calls, will you?
No, I mean, but people are still running their furnaces, so there's always a consistent flow of furnace breakdowns.
What's the biggest thing on holidays? The biggest call?
Drain calls and garbage disposals.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Drains and disposals.
Yeah. So Thanksgiving and Super Bowl.
If somebody wanted their slow drain worked on right now before the rush, or what does it cost? What do you guys have for drains?
For drain, for like a mainline drain cleaning,
yeah.
$139 is the standard rate on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I hear a lot of companies cheaper than that.
Yeah, we do specials from time to time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, before a holiday when it's warm and your crews are not busy, would be the time for one of those. I'm just saying.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying. So if you come up with one, let me know.
Okay.
If George is listening, let me know. I mean, wouldn't this be it? I mean, I think your guys are probably sitting on their hands right now this week. There's not much going on, or maybe there is. What's busy when it's warm out like this and we're approaching a holiday?
We're busy. I mean,
you are really,
yeah,
really.
With,
what are you busy with?
Furnace breakdowns, variety of plumbing concerns.
Okay. 303-713-TALK. What would you like to see on special during holiday weeks, before holidays? Let me know. 303-713-8255. Let's go to the phones. Okay, Lori. What's happening with you, Lori?
Hi, Tom.
Hey, what's happening?
Thank you for taking my call.
What's going on?
My mom is in rehab right now because she's been in and out of the hospital with
rehab for
heart failure, colon cancer, different things.
Okay, so in other words, rather than release her from the hospital, they put her in kind of a halfway house.
Yeah, so she's bounced between the hospital and this rehab.
Right.
She just got out of the hospital recently on Friday, and Monday morning I get a call to where they say she's not progressing and that she's not eligible for rehab anymore because she's not progressing. I kind of feel like they haven't given her an opportunity to progress, given 3 days. But that's what's happening, and I don't think her body's physically able to.
Well, what do you want? I guess. What are you calling about? What do you want?
I don't know what to do because the problem is we hired this lawyer to make her eligible for Medicaid. That would pay for hospice care, room and board, and care.
Wait a minute. She's on Medicare right now, right?
Yes.
And you're trying to get Medicaid as her supplement.
Yes, so that it would pay for the room and board and care. But this lawyer has now made us ineligible for it.
Why?
We went to him 2 years ago preparing for this time, and he had us put money into a trust.
From her? A non-revocable?
Yes, irrevocable trust. And from that trust, we paid for her assisted living and used up all the trust money for her assisted living care and haven't paid assisted living for the last 6 months because there's no money for it.
Where's the money she put away? Where's the money?
It was only $77,000, and that all got
okay. Well, it's good.
Living for 2 years.
It's good that it's used. That's how you apply for Medicaid. You used your money legitimately. So why would she be ineligible if she spent down her money for her own care? That's the definition of eligible.
State's saying she's ineligible because the money was in this trust, and the trust didn't have the right wording to make it.
It was in the trust, but it was spent.
Correct.
So if it's spent, it's no longer in the trust. Someone is not giving you accurate information. See, Lori, what the state for Medicaid, and for benefits. They want to make sure you don't have money stashed somewhere. And in order to be eligible for this, for nursing home care and all of that, you can't have a certain amount of assets, okay?
I understand.
And that's why people try to get rid of their assets. Now, I have a whole separate theory on that. But your mom tried to get rid of her assets, but she didn't because she used them for her own care anyway. So I don't even know why you bothered with the trust. You were using the money for her anyway. So why did you do a trust to begin with? I don't know.
Because the lawyer wanted to make money off us by selling us a trust. We went in there to say, how do we do this?
But you're not ineligible. You're not ineligible.
You're
not ineligible simply because you had a trust, unless the trust is hiding money. If there is no money in the trust, your argument doesn't make sense.
So how do I go back to the county and state and say that and say, look, she has no money, approve it?
Because they don't believe it. They don't believe it. Have they asked for trust documents? Have they asked for accounts?
Yep, we gave them all that.
Okay.
And I tried to get with them and said, I want to appeal this. I want to sit down with somebody. I want to go through these bank statements, and I'll show you where.
Well, you need an elder law attorney, and you need one that's not going to rip you off. David Salisbury is one. Let's get David Salisbury on the phone. Hold on a second, Lori. I don't understand this argument. 303-713-TALK. Go ahead, Frank. What's going on with you, Frank?
Yeah. Good morning, Tom. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. What's going on with you, Frank?
Well, about a year and a half ago, we had a large hailstorm that wiped out Colorado Mills Mall.
Oh, yes. My goodness.
Okay, I live about a mile east of the mills, and I got hit really bad in the hailstorm myself.
Yes.
And one of the things I had to fix was my wood deck. And I needed to move my hot tub off of the deck so my contractor could fix it. So I went to Affordable Spas and Hot Tubs in Lakewood where the hot tub was purchased.
Yeah, and you asked them to move it for you?
And I asked them to move it off the deck. And then when the deck got redone, move it back on.
What's the problem?
Well, they sent a couple of guys. They subcontracted the move. They sent a couple of gentlemen over, and they started to move the hot tub. And I said, whoa, you got to unhook it before you can move it. So they said, well, we don't do that, but they unhooked the electric from it, and they moved the hot tub. Well, when they moved it to the other part of the deck where it was out of the way, I noticed that it wasn't setting flat in the box. And I took pictures of that, and I took pictures.
So did they damage it?
Well, they broke the box that holds the hot tub.
You mean it's a self-contained hot tub, right?
Correct.
And it's connected electrically only. It's all self-contained plumbing-wise.
Right.
Okay.
Plumbing is all self-contained.
And the box is built like a mini wall. They have 2x4s or 2x6s, and it's built in a square usually, and then the hot tub sits in it. Those things are not difficult to fix. Now some of them are plastic on the outside, but they have wood guts. So
this is all wood.
Okay, so did they crack a stud or two? What did they do?
It broke the 2x on the bottom.
Okay, so what are they going to do about it? What are they going to do about it?
Well, after they moved it back, it still wasn't setting level. I went in and talked to them.
Okay, well, what are they going to do? That question is after all this.
Re-level it.
What? Okay.
They sent someone out, and they couldn't get it to be re-leveled. I went back down there. The guy says, well, just fill it up with water. The weight of the water will let it set down flat.
But are there broken members? Are there broken?
Yes.
Okay, why don't they just fix it?
I guess because they don't do that no more.
Okay,
they didn't even do the move. They subcontracted.
No, I understand that.
Else.
But if you paid Affordable Spas, did you, or did they find someone that you paid directly?
I paid Affordable Spas.
Then Affordable Spas is responsible to you. It's that simple.
Yes.
So hold on, and let's call Affordable Spas for you. It seems like a very simple proposition here. I want to talk to David Salisbury. If we can call him back, that would be great, because we have to take a break. GoCamSolar.com. That's a website for Cam Solar. GoCamSolar.com. If you put a /troubleshooter after it, you will come up with a form that will give you a free analysis of your lot over a 20-year period. If you want to go with solar, solar is a great option. You can own the system. Most of these components have 25-year warranties on them from the factory. and from Cam Solar. And once you own this system, your monthly payments stop. They stop. And you don't have to put any money down because of tax credits. And here's the deal. Your monthly payments replace your electric bill. So you're saving money right off the bat. Go camsolar.com/troubleshooter.
This is Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station. With Ross Kaminsky mornings, Kaplis and Kafer afternoons, KHOW, Denver.
People have asked me, Tom, where do you get BioT? They've heard me talk about
God, that's a weird sounding spot.
They just speed up everything. It's terrible. You sound like the chipmunks. Oh, it's terrible. I take BioT.
Cosmetic procedures. They do microneedling, Juvederm, Botox, Kybellin, Revitalize Health. And the important thing about the Hormone Bros is they do everything by blood testing. 720-361-2302. So many people have called and said, Tom, I know you do.
Where would you go for a muffler change?
Just the muffler?
Yeah, that's what it. I hope there's not. It was my son's car.
Sheridan.
Okay.
So I call them the Hormone Bros. I just think it's
so
that's how you can find them.
Listen, I don't think Jeff's going to have a welder. Actually, you might email Vic over at Kimmer.
So that you guys are crazy even when the weather is nice right now.
Yeah, it's, I mean, because it's still dropping below 30 at night.
Okay.
So that's really the big thing is what temperature does it get down to at night? People wake up and it's cold in their house, or they come home and it's cold, you know.
It's not good.
Yeah. Mark Centrarv sent this, right? Okay.
Yeah, I sent it over to him. It's just they're going to the, monthly payments, whatever.
For their promotion. Okay, I have the Century Today now. So, are any divisions slow?
I'm thinking do $1 off promo on like a new furnace or a water heater. That or $1 off any repair.
$1 off any repair, I don't think.
No,
He doesn't need
certain dollar amount.
Certain dollar amount.
Yeah.
I'll say $1 off is probably not going to
No.
lead. I wouldn't lead with that one.
No.
Joseph A.
It's like $77 off any repair.
Thanks for restarting that feed, by the way. You got what I was saying. That's great, because I thought, you know what? We just ruined the whole show.
YouTube won't go. YouTube, even when you start it, it continues the same stream.
There's a lot of buzz right now about stem cell therapy. Where should you go to get the best results? Downtown's Healthcare. Area has trained over 1,000 medical providers to deliver stem cell therapy.
Hey, log into your Walmart account and see if they refunded those stupid dishes.
Tom, if you want to do
So we ordered a water
any
dish
repair
from Walmart. It's free 2-day shipping. At a better price than Amazon. I always look.
Discuss your financial goals and then customize
2 days goes by.
Mark, I don't understand this line.
What line?
With the Better Business Bureau. I'm here with
What are you talking about?
American Financing.
15% down, $240 a month. For what?
Customer service and do what it takes to help customers save up to
And what's 1.99% buy down? None of that.
He's just simplify it.
Well, I mean, but I don't even know what he's talking about, because he says
He's got Class A's for whatever, $199. Class B's
no,
for
Class
$299.
C's are $2.99, Class A's are $3.99. Then he says,
And then interest rates as low as 1.9 is what I would say. That's it.
okay.
I looked at it. I have no idea what he's talking about. I think what he's saying is they buy down the rate. I don't know why. I don't know why you buy down an interest rate on a
Well, because you want to make it more affordable.
Home for home loans.
Well,
182-334.
maybe so, but
Division of Real Estate.
I've never seen a case where paying a point on something makes any sense.
You know what they mean by that buying it down? Really, what they mean is they're not taking a spread. That's usually what they mean.
They're going to let you have
Yeah, but 1.9 is an artificial rate. No one's loaning at 1.9. It's completely artificial. So either the manufacturer, someone's juicing that. It's an artificial
That's
rate.
what I mean. I think Century,
Yeah.
if they do a big enough business, that's their buy rate.
I don't think so. That's my whole point.
You don't even think it's their own buy rate?
Unless he's got a shitload of cash and he's doing it himself. No way, man. I mean, the feds are... the banks can't borrow at that anymore.
What's interest rate now? The prime.
What is prime right now? Like 2.5, 3, 3.25?
Okay. Okay. So
you follow what I'm saying?
They are subsidizing.
Exactly. Or they're simply, or the manufacturer is just upping the price of the units and building it in.
I got it. I got it all down here right now. We don't have them on today.
I do want to see what the Fed rate is.
I'm Tom Martino. Art of Granite. Saving money is the name of the game at Art of Granite. If you had to sum it up, Art of Granite and Mitch Floria will do excellent work at excellent prices, and you get prices on the phone. He takes all the magic out of countertops and cabinets and backsplashes. Here's how he does it. It's very simple. He doesn't charge for the anything above wholesale. He passes that on to you for all the stone material, a direct stone importer. Then he only marks up his or gets paid for the fabrication and installation. All the other stuff is complimentary because he wants to do what he does best. The tear out and haul away is free. The cabinets is a small markup from the manufacturer. All of the other material direct wholesale. And if you want a price, you can get it on the phone. 303-386-5919. Open 6 days a week. A golden showroom. Once you get that price on the phone, you go out and you pick what you said you were going to pick, of course, and that price will be accurate. artofgranite.net, 303-386-5919. David Salisbury's on the phone to answer some questions. David, when somebody's going into a nursing home and they want to be eligible, they often go and consult attorneys to find out what they can do legally. And Medicare they get no matter what. But what about Medicaid? Medicaid normally, for health insurance purposes, Medicaid only goes by income. But when it goes to nursing homes, they look at equity too, right?
Well, you know, they look at both because when you apply for Medicaid, Tom, you've got to have have to have under a certain amount of income per month, and you have to have under a certain dollar amount, which I believe this year is $2,000 in any kind of asset.
Okay.
So what people do sometimes is they'll put it in an irrevocable trust where they are no longer the trustee, they're not the beneficiary, with the idea that you're making yourself insolvent, if you will.
But are you just allowed to do that, or is there a waiting period for that?
Well, there should be a waiting period. If they know that you've got the irrevocable trust, then they're going to want to know when was it put in there.
Yeah, you can't put it in yesterday, $1 million in an irrevocable trust, and then head to the nursing home and on the government dime.
No, you can't.
Okay, but here's something that happened with Lori that's strange. Her 77-year-old mom started an irrevocable trust through an attorney. And when was this done, Lori?
2 years ago. 2.5 years ago.
2.5 years ago. And when did she go into a nursing home?
2 weeks ago.
Okay. 2.5 years ago, what was this irrevocable trust used for? Where you say the money is no longer there. How much money was put in there?
$77,000.
Where's the money now?
Spent at assisted living. Her stay at assisted living.
So,
for 2 years.
David, this seems weird to me because they did an irrevocable trust, then ended up using that trust to pay for her care. I don't know why they didn't just pay for her care. Why did they go through the extra step of a trust to do that? Because they spent down their money legitimately.
Well, and they could have done that, but maybe their concern was he would be in nursing care sooner rather than later, and so they wanted to go on and put themselves in a position so that when he was, and if a sufficient amount of time had passed, he could get it. But if there's no money in the trust, and
it's a woman, by the way, it's her mom. But they're telling Lori, because you have this trust, your mom's not eligible.
Well, that just can't be.
That's right.
I mean, that doesn't make any sense.
That's
to me.
exactly right. That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't have anything in it, and you know what? if it really bothers them that she has that on the side, then say, well, fine, we'll terminate it. It has no assets. We'll terminate it if that makes you happy, Medicaid.
Now, Lori, who's telling you?
We did that. It is terminated. We have a letter that terminated it back in October.
Then why are they not allowing her to get Medicaid?
They're still saying it's because the trust and the money that was in the trust made us ineligible. And I don't think my lawyer is doing a good job of saying, look, this is, and laying it out.
He's not even doing a good job of telling you what's going on.
Yeah.
That is true.
Did you actually get word? Did you get word from Medicaid? That's why you were turned down. Did it actually say because of the trust, or is he telling you this?
So I got a call saying that, oh, great, she's eligible in 2019. And I said, well, why? And she says, well, it has something to do with the trust.
It's the waiting period. It's the waiting period. That's what they're talking about, Lori, the waiting period. But let's just go right to it. That's if there were assets. But there are no assets, and she spent the money on her own care. I don't want to say it again. Here's what you do. You have to see, David, you take second looks at things all the time, don't you?
Yeah, I'll be glad to.
Yeah, I want you, Lori, to call David Salisbury. Listen, he's proven himself invaluable to many people. 720-493-3911. He does trust, probate, wills. Just run it by him. Then, David, if you could report back to us, we'd like to know why she is being told on an empty, terminated trust she is no longer eligible for Medicaid, or not eligible. She was never eligible, and she's not eligible. I don't understand it. I want to check in with Patrick. He's a kid who came into the show, failure to launch, and we accused him of being, lazy, but then we found out he suffers from depression. He has a number of different things, and we followed him along. He got hooked up with, what was they? Job Corps, was it?
Job Corps.
And he got trained. They put him up while he was being
welding.
And he was learning welding, which is great. And I want to know what he's doing. He's been checking in with us from time to time because we really do care about him. And Patrick, where are you today, right now? What's going on in your life?
I'm actually waiting to start my shift at work.
So, your shift welding?
No, I'm actually working at Taco Bell until I get my license back.
Okay. You're working. See, he's not standing still. So you're working at Taco Bell. You've been trained to do welding. And when you get your license back, then what?
I'm going to be looking for a job in Sierra Vista, Arizona, because I'll be moving in with my girlfriend.
And you're going to be welding?
Welding or machining.
Good. Those are two good trades. I have a quick question for you, Patrick. The girlfriend you never mentioned before. This was the very first time you mentioned a girlfriend.
Yes.
When did you meet her?
I met her while I was at Job Corps.
Was she at Job Corps too?
Yes, she got her CNA certificate.
Very good. Okay. And you guys hit it off?
Yes.
Well, I don't know, Mark. Do you see any tragedy? I think no one should be lonely. Maybe it'll help them. Yeah. What do you think? Are you now, come on, you got a smirk on your face, man.
I've got no smirk.
You got a smirk. It's a smirk.
He's back at Taco Bell.
Hey, hey, listen, he's back at Taco Bell. He started there, he ended up there.
He was holding out for management last time he worked at Taco Bell.
But hold on, seriously. He knows how to weld and machine, and he's going to move away. I
think it's a little quick to be moving in with the girl, man. You just met her.
Here's the deal. Okay?
Is she pregnant?
My thing is this. Listen, my thing is this, Patrick. If you're working toward a goal, I don't care who you play hokey pokey with, as long as you complete your goal. Don't let it blind you to a goal. Get a job machining, get a job welding, and right now I'm proud that you're taking a job in between. You're not holding out for, I'm going to wait till I get a welding job.
Are your parents proud? Seriously, man, are they happy you got through Job Corps, learned something?
Yes.
Very cool.
Okay, so where are you living while you're working at Taco Bell?
I'm living with a friend right now.
Okay. Listen, keep in touch, especially when you use this money from Taco Bell, get your license back, and move away. We want to hear from you. So, listen, we do care, and I think we had a little bit to do with kicking him in the ass. I want to know. Maybe we didn't. Patrick, don't let us pat ourselves on the back if that's not true. Did us watching you and helping you and consulting with you through the time, do you think that had anything to do with you doing this?
It actually helped a lot.
Okay, well, we're going to continue helping. So hold on. I mean, not hold on. Just stay in touch for sure, okay? And, hey, one step at a time, right? One step at a time. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. That clock just freaked out. What time is it? Our clock went nuts. My God, this clock is telling me all kinds of crazy stuff, so I have to take a break. John Fuller, he was on the show yesterday, and people took my advice and made appointments to ask him questions. Why? Because you have to. Do you know how many people we hear from who don't have a clue what to do when they're injured in an accident? They don't know what to do. John Fuller is a personal injury expert and a car accident king. This guy knows where to find collection, how to collect, how to fight for your rights. The bottom line is this: don't try to do something this complicated alone. If you don't need an attorney for your injury, he will be the first one to tell you. But he can be a whole bunch of help even if you don't hire him. Ask him any questions you want. You can call him at any time. He forwards this to his cell number, 303-597-4500. If you're in an accident, of course, take care of yourself medically and all of that. But call him before your rights evaporate and ask questions. And never try to negotiate alone without advice. 303-597-4500, personalinjuryco.com.
Yeah.
This reported.
It went back. It went back. It was like freaking, man, and I lost my way. It went again. Oh, yeah, look. Just freaked again.
It's freaking out. It's freaky fast. Freaking out.
Weird.
Oh, I looked at it.
Does the other one do? Oh, the other one doesn't do it. I need to set my, I need to do it with this one. I need to just watch my clock here.
Well, there's not much to this, man. There's like, this thing was built in the 50s.
Okay, I'm on sync with it right now. I'll just use this. Brian, anything
I think
you want to talk
about
about?
that clock.
Bro, anything you want to talk about?
I think just
You can get in the car.
people, be proactive before the real winter
Oh, wait,
hits.
he's waiting for his license back.
It's
It's
like you
always-
said, it always happens
driving.
late at night or on a holiday or something where it's super inconvenient.
Yeah, he was holding
I
out.
think that's the biggest
quit.
message is
No, he was at the.
do it on your own
You're thinking
terms
the
and
auto
not when
parts.
you...
He went
Not
back,
when you're
right
forced
before
to,
that, he
but
went back to Taco Bell. He's been at
being
Taco Bell
proactive.
in and out forever.
Okay.
He goes back to Taco Bell, worked a week, and then quit because he didn't get the assistant manager job.
He's got high hopes.
He's holding out for management.
The other thing too, people are getting their furnaces checked out, and we do free second opinions. So I know that we have a lot of success with that because just our thoroughness, and we go in, and sometimes these guys around town, they just come in and just say all kinds of stuff, and they didn't even go through and clean it. They weren't thorough, and
We see that.
I don't think I'll ever.
They're there to try to sell a furnace and stuff.
yeah. So whenever we get a free second opinion call, it's like we prioritize that thing just because it really gives us the opportunity to differentiate.
Plus, you already know there's a real issue.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, that or
and it's an expensive fix, so why the hell are they calling for a second opinion?
yeah, that or there's so many times where like I was telling these guys, the first technician just wasn't thorough. They just go in, and the first thing they see, okay, it's going to be this and that, and
10 years old new furnace.
yeah, and if they didn't go through, they didn't clean it. Like I always tell my guys, don't even give a diagnosis until you've tuned the thing up, because you can get inconsistent readings. Some things can just be fixed by getting a good cleaning.
Sorry to interrupt,
right?
man, but Frank, what do we want? We want to bring it back. He just won't call this Denver Deliveries that moves those hot tubs, he has to call them. They're the one that did this job.
And they're willing to do what?
Yeah, but he paid those guys.
I know, he paid those guys.
Yeah,
Okay, so why has he got to deal with all these other schmoes?
Because they're the ones that did it.
Yeah, I know, but what about calling him? What will that do? Well, can we call him?
I'll call him, but he refuses to call the place. When they move the tub, they let him know that most of it was rotted under there.
Well, then, okay, that's a whole new story.
But anyway,
Would you call them and get the story as to what happened to that tub and if they feel responsible?
Because if it's
find out if they feel responsible.
Well, I already called Affordable Spas. They were called by this place, and when they
I want to know if the place that did it feels responsible.
I'll call. Okay.
I really need to talk to Kathy.
22 years old.
Oh,
I need
jeez.
her to come up.
How old is it?
22.
22.
The spa's 22 years
I need
old?
to talk to her.
Oh, man, they're not going to be
but I need to talk to her
responsible.
about taking Bonnie.
Dude, they're not going to be responsible.
That's
You know how old that spa is?
The other thing too is, did they get anything in writing saying, hey?
Your kid, that fucking spa's older than your kid.
How old is it?
22 years
old. But if they're a moving company, hey, this bottom is rotted out. Hey, can you sign right here? We're not responsible.
I bet they did. I bet he did sign something. Did you ask? The spa company I bought mine from, they won't move spas. They gave me a number of somebody.
Let's do that, Mark.
Do what?
Let's ask that. That's a good question.
$400 is more than the spa's worth. That's what he paid to have it moved. That's more than the freaking spa's worth.
I moved mine.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter.
Welcome to the show, 303-713-TALK. Centeno Schultz for Stem Cell Therapy is the clinic we recommend. You know that because they do living stem cells. So please call them for their next seminar if you want to go, or for an evaluation. They're MDs and doctors, which means if you don't need stem cells, they have other treatments available. They're real doctors. Now, the reason I say that is I'm sick and tired of chiropractors getting into this game with nurse practitioners who don't know their what's from a hole in the ground. And it's terrible because people are getting ripped off spending thousands of dollars on treatments that are fake. Centeno Schultz, the real deal. I can almost say you're going to waste money. No, I can say with certainty you're going to waste money if you go to any clinic that imports any kinds of amniotic fluid or any kind of umbilical cord blood. 303-963-9201 is Centeno Schultz, the real deal. Centeno Schultz, 303-963-9201. And by the way, when I talk about bad chiropractors, I'm not talking about Bright Light Chiropractic. They don't do that fake, phony garbage. Okay, let's go to the phones. We have Fix It 24/7 in the house. And basically, his message is a very simple one, and we'll get to it. It's be proactive. Do you realize that every single person who has a breakdown and an emergency, you can prevent it? Every one of you. And of all of you who have breakdowns and emergencies, about 90% of you will get ripped off because you're desperate. And that's because you're not proactive. Now, Frank, you called, man. We didn't know this spot was 22 years old. Not that that matters, except unless it was rotting out, and anybody who moved it, it would have broken. Now, that's what we need to know, Frank. We called, and Affordable said, look, this is like 20-something years old, and according to the movers, it was rotting. Frank?
Did you sign anything?
No.
Did they mention that to you, that it was rotting out? If we open up those walls on your spa, will we see rotting members, or will we see perfectly good wood?
You should see good wood. Where it broke was at a knot in the wood on the very bottom.
It wasn't rotting.
It does not look rotting to me. It's been covered under a gazebo the whole time from when they moved it in.
Is it pressure treated?
The gazebo, yes.
No, I'm talking about your spa. Is it pressure treated wood underneath it?
I don't know if that's pressure treated or not.
Okay. Here's going to be the standard. Listen carefully. If anyone would have broken it because it simply could not be moved without being broken, that's a risk. That's just a risk.
They were pulling on it and pushing it, trying to move it before they unhooked it.
Okay, if they were, well, okay, but did that break it?
I don't know if that's where it broke or after they got it out and moved.
If they were negligent in moving, it, they owe you something. But guess what? They owe you a repair. It's a 22-year-old spa. That's all they owe you is a repair.
They won't even come look at it.
Well, we got to call them for you. We talked to Affordable. Now we're going to call the morons who moved it. So hold on. We got more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. And I'm not sure if they're morons or not. We'll see.
Yeah, let me re-clarify. I'm not sure if
they're morons if they tried to move it without unhooking the electrical.
That is kind of funny. Hey, you got to unplug it, man.
I wonder if it's 220
and
or
it's not,
110.
And it's not like a regular plug. Most of them are hardwired.
Yeah, but unless it's 110, they could have just run.
Mine goes like this. So my disconnect is on the side of the house. Yeah. And that's where the GFI is. Yeah. And then it's got to run from there that's hardwired into the...
If it's 220. Now, 22 years ago, they might have just had 110.
Jeez, I don't know how 110 would heat up, man.
They can only do one thing at a time. They can either heat or they can do blows or jets.
Oh, that would suck.
They can
So if you were in there for a half hour, it starts getting a little cold.
Yeah, you got to switch over. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what pissed me off. So I plug in my bus to the 110 at my house, okay? So I've got this Arctic pack. So it heats everything so I don't have to winterize it. As long as it's plugged in, then I set the thermostat. The two AC units have these, so there's two AC units in the ceiling.
Yeah.
And they have these things called heat pads.
Yes, of course. That's what you have in your RV. They're
so
wonderful.
So I plugged the 120 in, and I'm thinking, okay, this is cool. I won't even have to use the furnace. I'll use these. If it gets below, like, 32, you probably should kick on something else. But anyhow, they keep tripping the breaker. So even though they're not using the AC mode, I knew the AC mode would trip the breaker, but just for using the heat mode, they trip the breaker, which is bullshit.
Well, heat is tough on breakers, right? I mean, that's a lot of electricity coming through any heat.
But the heat pads that heat every tank in there, the black, the gray, the fresh, those things heat them perfectly, and they work off the 110, no problem.
So you're saying just because it's...
As soon as they kick on, it blows the breaker.
Do you have a 50 amp or 30 amp? What service do you have coming in?
It's 50 amp, but when I'm at home, I'm downstreaming it just to a 110.
Yeah,
and then the second one of those ACs kicks on. Not the AC I knew would blow it. There's no doubt there.
Yeah.
But what shocks me is that when I'm using the heat mode on the AC, it blows it.
Yeah, because the heat takes more resistance than
Hey, Clint, can you follow up on the missing VHS tapes today?
They said they lost them, right?
I thought remember the manager wasn't going to be in until Monday.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that, the moving memories call?
Okay. Yep.
He's emailing us asking us if there's any update, and I know you were the one talking to him, right? Or was it Dan?
It was me.
But if they lost them, what's he want? Just dollars?
Yeah, he wants dollars.
Missing VHS tapes. He dropped off to have converted digitally. It was videos of his granddad or something. But he did put an amount on it. He said he'd settle for what, Mark? $5 grand or so? 3 to 5 grand if they offered him money.
They're going to say, we're going to ship you some old VHS tapes.
I'm going to take Bonnie.
They were all blank.
Oh, you're taking my spot. Yes,
the manager was.
We're matching shoes.
Oh my God, we have ESPN.
Thing over the weekend. Yeah, I remember that.
I'll never forget when we walked in and she said, "Man, did you guys hear we just bought North Korea?"
What?
She had heard something
wrong. It was the worst fake
radio.
news ever.
Okay.
I said, "What? I think I would have heard that on the way in, listening to Fox."
You know, on your 50 amp on your motorhome, it's still 110.
What do you mean?
You have a 30 amp 110 and a 50 amp, and it's still 110. It's not 220.
Oh yeah.
Which is 50 amp. I mean, that nothing else does that but motorhomes.
Here's the weird part too. The 30 amp. Where were we where we could only use 30 amp? I think it was in Cripple Creek.
Yeah, a lot of the old campgrounds.
So we plug into the 30 amp. You can only have one AC unit working, or else if both of them kick on at the same time, it'll blow the 30 amp fuse. Well, that's crazy.
So you have no 220? You can't plug it into a 220?
No, there's no 220 in motorhomes. I don't know why they've never done that. Why? Because you could.
You know what I'd do if there was?
Because places don't have it.
I have one right in the garage for the
welder
for the washer.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Or is it
dryer?
Dryer.
Yeah, but that's 220. That's 220. If you go to 220, it drops the amperage in half. So if you had
because there's 2 legs.
Yeah, because you're using 2 legs.
So I never thought of that though. Can I go from my 50 amp? Is there an adapter that would plug right into the 220, and how much power would that give me? I didn't even think of that.
No, you don't have a plug-in for 220 or.
I do in my garage.
I have an outside plug for my motorhome.
No, if I take my 50 amp cable, can I convert that to plug into 220 at the house?
Oh.
That's what I'm asking.
Oh, I'm sorry. Say that again. I wasn't listening.
I got 50 amp service. If I take that big 50 amp plug, is there an adapter that I can go into a 220?
That's right, exactly. Or to 110.
I know a 110. I have that.
You have to make sure your inverter can handle that. Because some well, no, you don't need an inverter. Never mind. To charge your batteries, what I meant was, there are some motorhomes where even if you have an adapter, it doesn't take multiple voltage. If you undervolt it, it's going to be bad.
I'm afraid I'd blow something.
No. Yours is new enough. You can take that main power cord and put 110, 220, or...
I wonder how much that is.
Oh, he can plug into 220 on his?
That's what they all are.
Well, my 50 amp on mine, the last 2 I've had, my 50 amps are 50 amp 110s.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can do that too. But all the new RVs have all of them have the 220 plug. All of them.
Oh, right? 220? It is now. Oh, cool.
Yeah. All motorhome parks are 220.
I got to look at my plug.
No. It's 220. Okay. It is 220. Okay.
But it's not.
Yours would have one now. Yours is a new.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the plug right
there.
Oh,
yeah,
it's 220 for sure.
Well.
Yeah, that's exactly.
It's a 220.
It's a 220 plug.
Listen, I had 5 RVs. All of them had 220 input.
So
I can plug it right in.
You don't have a 220 input.
Well, the newest one I have is a 90.
Oh, okay.
So they're older.
Yeah, that should plug in your dryer.
The last one he had stone wheels.
Yeah.
He was like Fred Flintstone.
The 93 Euro Premier I have though, it's like an old. They were real high end.
Listen, I have been having a bout with my Asperger's. I can tell when it's acting up, and I'm getting irritated with everyone, and I fucking can't believe what a jerk I was to buy drones just to register them. I mean, that's going overboard.
What?
It's a little manic.
I think I was afraid. I want to apologize for being such an asshole. I mean,
didn't think so.
Yeah, but it was overboard.
You know,
it was overboard. I honest to God, it was like this. I can't explain it. I get focused on something.
Yeah.
I do. I get focused on something, and I have to remind myself that I'm allowed to teach.
You know, I was reminded Mark of something though.
Yes.
We have a number of people in here that have never really had a boss. Me, Mark.
Me.
Yeah, you.
Well, I've had bosses.
Well,
Hello, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. I'm a consumer advocate fighting for you. Sometimes I fight with you if you're hurting people. And, you know, in all cases, I will say that, honest to God, our goal is to make life easier for you. That's why we have great sponsors like Fix It 24/7. They're in the house today. And if you have any questions on home services, we're going to answer them, and we're going to help you in any way we can. 303-713-TALK. Buy and Build is another place. 4800 Washington Street. Buy and Build. Now, here's what I want to tell you about Buy and Build. They have this big, giant, ugly warehouse, and my joke is it's big and ugly like the owner, Courtney. But really, I'm really lying because the warehouse is not that ugly. Now, if you want to go shopping and you want to, boom, boom, nobody got that? If you want to go shopping, you can at 4800 Washington Street and save money, whether you're a do-it-yourself or a contractor, below wholesale. But the big deal is September 19th. Not September 19th, I'm sorry. November, wait, did it start? I got the new auction, rollerauction.com. Will you go on there, one of you guys, and see when the buy and build auction starts? It starts this week, I'm sure. Or the 28th maybe. Anyway, I have the wrong date down here. But it starts very soon, and this is what I want to tell you. Here's the main message. Rollerauction.com, look for buy and build, because that auction even though Buy and Build has pennies on the dollar when it comes to their interior finish items, their floor coverings, their hardwoods, their cabinets, their granite, and lighting fixtures and plumbing fixtures, at that auction, it's even more ridiculous. You can find faucet sets for $1.49. Okay, when is it, Mark? Did you find it on Roller Auction?
Starts tomorrow.
Okay, doggone it. The
11/21 Wednesday, and it goes through 1 week, 11/28.
Okay, so 11/28 is the close date.
That's right.
And the open is
11/21 tomorrow.
11/20.
And man, can you get deals every single time he does this? It's ridiculous. Kitchen sinks for what? Like $19.
Oh no, Mark. Some of them
toilets.
Some of the sinks go for $5.
Cabinets.
Oh, it's crazy. Okay.
And what are those round ones called? Vessel sinks.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to the phones. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Evan, thank you for holding. What's going on, Evan? How can we help you?
Yes. Hi. I'm trying to figure out whether it's a good idea to receive PayPal for what I'm selling.
If you know what you're doing, yes. If you know what you're doing.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay. PayPal is a safe way to get payment, but it still doesn't stop scammers.
Okay.
Especially, do you have a PayPal account?
I do not.
Okay, you have to start a PayPal account. And here's the secret with PayPal, is never go outside of PayPal. In other words, always log in with the genuine PayPal link. Don't ever use a link that an emailer sends you or a buyer. If a buyer says to you, hit this link to go to my PayPal, don't do it. You have to log into your account, and then please learn about it before you use it. Because you need to go onto the login properly, or you will get, what are these sites called, the clone sites? Or
yeah, they make a fake one. Next thing you know, you're giving them all your info.
Exactly. So just make sure.
Okay. All right.
What are you selling anyhow? What are you paying for? What are you buying?
I'm selling fireplace, freestanding fireplace.
Okay. PayPal's okay, but if this is just a one-time thing, the best thing to do, well, listen, selling something online, are you going to eBay or what? Where are you going?
It's on the Craigslist.
Oh, God. Oh,
that's why I'm kind of
conscious
about it.
Let me just say something, Evan. On Craigslist, the only thing I would do is cash. I swear to God. I don't know what else to tell you, man. I just don't know what else to tell you. I would not do anything but cash. And if it's if it's long distance, it's almost impossible. You know, it's gotten to a point where it's almost impossible to get real payment. There are some apps that will wire money, ACH. And an ACH cannot be clawed back. So if you do you know what ACH means?
No, I don't.
It's automated clearinghouse. And where are you selling this?
Oh, they can be clawed back because it's a bounce check if there's no funds there.
No, not a bounce check. What I'm saying is once the ACH is in your account, they can't claw it back.
Once the money, yeah.
Yeah. Evan, really quickly, are you in Denver?
Yes, I'm in the Littleton area.
And you're selling a what? A fireplace?
Yes.
A freestanding fireplace?
Yes.
Okay. Do us a favor and send us a picture. How much you want for it? I want to do something for fun. How much?
It's a mom's fireplace. I'm asking $800.
What do they sell for?
Those are usually 24 to 34, something like that.
24 to 3400. Do they plug into the wall?
No, it's just freestanding. It's just kind of like a corn shape.
But does
it's kind of like an old.
How does it?
Style.
What's the fuel? What's the fuel?
Wood.
Oh, it's a wood freestanding.
Send a picture of it.
But it's freestanding. But okay. But you have to plumb it. Not plumb
almost like a potbelly, right?
You have to hook it up to the exhaust, the flue, and all that. That's what you're talking
about.
I'm sorry. Right. I'm thinking about a portable fireplace like you buy at Costco and plug it into the wall and those stupid little things. But you're talking about a wood burning stove.
Yeah, not a stove. It's fireplace.
Okay, a wood-burning fireplace, freestanding. So you does it produce heat or is it just for ambiance?
It's pretty much for look. I mean, it does provide some heat. But
send us a photograph for the heck of it. Send us a photograph for the heck of it. I just want to see it. I don't want it, but maybe a listener wants to see it. We'll put it up online. I swear to you, I love doing experimental stuff like this. We'll put it up on the Facebook feed or the YouTube feed. Okay, 303-713-TALK. I want to say hi to Clay, babe. Clay, not babe. Clay. Clay is a guy. I think he's in Texas right now. He was my original helicopter instructor. He said he just found us on Facebook. Yo, Clay. He just texted me. That's fun. You know, people all over the world can see us on Facebook, obviously, and on YouTube. And that means I can't have any bill collectors because they always know where to find me. 303-713-TALK. Let's go to the phone, 713-8255. Anita. Welcome, Anita. What's going on with you, Anita?
Hi, Tom. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
So I took my car into Mako for some body work, and they went ahead and did a great job on the body work and whatnot. However, they did cause damage to the back dash. But when I took it to a couple of upholstery shops, they said that the damage may have been unintentional, and it could have been either them spraying a chemical to cause it to indent, or if somebody actually applied pressure to it as they were trying to detail the car.
It doesn't matter if they broke it. What year car is this?
It's a 2010 Dodge Avenger.
Is it in good shape?
Yes.
Well, they have to fix it. If they caused the damage, they have to fix it. Do they acknowledge that they caused some damage?
No, they do not.
Well, what do they say?
They're saying that they didn't cause the damage, that it was like that when it came, but it wasn't. And unfortunately, I never got pictures, and they never got pictures either.
What do you do in a case like that, Brian? Fix it 24/7? I know you guys, this is different. It's household services. But in business, what the hell do you do when somebody says you put that nick in the wall and you know damn well it was there? What do you do with stuff like that? What do you do?
We always try to give our clients the benefit of the doubt. I mean,
if it's not too much money, I would say you just fix it, right?
Yeah, for us, you know, we always want our clients to be happy. And, you know, if there's even a doubt and it's he said, she said, or, you know, there's no proof either way, if it's something we can take care of to keep our clients 100% satisfied, you know.
But here's the deal.
Times out of 100
how much will it cost to fix this, do you think? I'm talking to you, by the way.
A little spackle, right, and some paint?
No, we're not the wall now. We're talking about our car. Anita, what would it, although Mako would use spackle maybe. Anita, what would it take to fix this?
When I took it to the upholstery shop, they said that they can do it for about $350.
Wow, they really did some damage. $350. Where is this damage again?
On the back dash, so in the rear window.
The back, they call that a hat shelf. Is that what you're talking about? It's where the rear window, there's like a shelf there behind the back seat.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, they used to call those hat shelves. Okay, so.
Okay.
It's an Avenger.
How would they damage that doing body work?
I don't know how they damaged it.
I would assume maybe.
Was that window off?
Use it. No, it wasn't off, but I'm assuming that maybe they used it to kind of brace themselves to keep their balance when they were vacuuming out the seat, I guess. I'm not sure.
Can you send us a photograph? We need some photos or something. All right? We need some photos. Paul's got a PayPal comment. Go ahead, Paul. What do you have to say about PayPal?
Hey, Tom, I've sold a lot of things on Craigslist, trailers, boats, cars, and every time they'll go through, ask you a little bit about the vehicle or the product, give me your PayPal email address, and I'll pay you through PayPal.
Right.
And it always ends up being a scam, and I'm not quite sure what the scam is, if they're just looking for that as a username.
I don't know. Most of the time with PayPal, they give you a false link, and then they either feign payment or they get your account information.
Well, that's what happens.
So, you know, God, there are so many ways to get ripped off nowadays, so many ways. It's scary. It really is scary. 303-713-8255. Let's just talk very quickly about Joe Lazzara. No pun intended, but this is a sobering thought. This holiday season, good chances some of you listening, unfortunately, I hate saying this, are going to be killed by a drunk driver. Or you're going to be drunk and driving. And then some of you are going to get tickets and all of that. So why would I give you a defense attorney's name? Well, first of all, if you're guilty, you really need an attorney just to get through the system. If you learned your lesson and it was a minor first-time infraction, you need an attorney. If you were falsely accused, you need an attorney. So no matter what, you need an attorney. If you get a DUI, you need an attorney. Now, we recommend Uber, Lyft, designated drivers, or, you know, they do have handheld breathalyzers now that are pretty damn good. But again, I'm obligated to say that I don't think you get the import of this. We're not telling you to go to Joe Lazzara to erase this thing. It'll never be erased. Your life will be turned upside down, even if you were falsely accused. Joe Lazzara, 303-429-6200. 303-429-6200.
How you damage that rear package tray on bodywork.
I put a piece of carpet up. He's got a couple holes in it or something.
So I have here,
or is it in the
bright
seat?
light.
Top of the seat. I didn't.
You said it was the rear dash, but I think she's talking about. I used to call them package tray. In the back.
Don't we call them hat shelves on airplanes? They call them hat
shelf, and I think a car they call a package tray. You know the door things now are called door cards.
What do you mean?
On a car, the door panel.
Okay, fucking prove it. Get on the internet right now.
It's called a door card.
I'm going to prove them wrong. Get on the internet.
Card, though? I don't get it.
No, the panel.
The panel. They used to always call it the door panel. You know, the inside panel. It's always called a door panel.
I'm sorry, I'm going to look it
Now,
up.
every car show I look at now, they call it a door
And I'm not going to be an asshole. I'm just looking it up because I never heard that expression. I'll be a son of a bitch. A door card is a door panel and an insert on the door that covers the door's internal components.
I don't know why they renamed it after all.
It's English. They use it in England. A door panel is called a door card. How to remove door cards. I have never heard that before, ever.
I started hearing it at all the car shows this year.
Did you see it? Door card.
Yeah. They just, all of a sudden, they changed
Say something else.
I've been using that forever.
Say something else I can prove wrong. Go ahead.
Well,
Wait, the tower at DIA never had steps in. I never had an elevator. Tell me that.
That's my favorite.
That's my favorite. I don't get rid of that one. The front fender.
Yes.
They call it a bonnet on the British car.
What is the bonnet? The hood, right?
And the boot is the trunk. But what do they call a fender in England?
A fender.
Hold on. Flare?
The Raleigh House,
Huh.
720-892-5555.
I guess that makes sense.
A car wing, okay. Oh, they're going to show me these spoilers if I say car wing.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what they show me here, but hold on.
I don't know. I just started. I watch all these car shows on the weekend. All of a sudden, there's terminology for a lot of stuff just changed.
What
this last year.
is a car fender called in England? It came up in England. Let's see what it says. It's called... The fender is called the wing. Usually refers to only the panels over the front wheel, not the rear. Wing.
I don't know.
Oh, the tail? You were finished?
Did you have, what, you were restoring a British car or something?
He's just saying.
No, I watched 4 car shows.
You watched that one that's out of England? The one, you know that one. They're always doing... No, they're always doing weird tests. It's cool. It's a cool show. I
don't think I've ever watched.
Top Gear.
Yes, and you know what? They did a Ferrari versus a light plane. A guy owned his own airplane, and a guy of Cirrus' own guy owned a Ferrari, and they were going to go from door to door.
Since you had both, that was a good one for you to.
They were going to go from door to door to see who beat who.
What do you mean door to door?
Meaning, you had to get to this house. And so the Ferrari left, this guy went in the car to the airplane. Then they flew to the destination, and this guy drove.
Who won?
The Ferrari.
Was he speeding?
No, well, I don't know what the rules were.
I mean, could it have been any car for that matter? Or did it matter that it was a Ferrari?
They did one on there where
I think it had to do with the long straightaway, too.
They went from San Francisco to L.A., and one of them could not change lanes. Had to just get out in the fast lane and stay there, and the other could bob lanes all the time. And the one that was able to dodge lanes did get there, but like 90 seconds in 8 hours ahead. It was just barely.
Reminds me of the Cannonball Run, man.
Yeah, they do such. That is a cool show. They do some of the most bizarre things. There's an American version of it now too.
I used to like that. I haven't watched it forever, but where they'll do something Buster. Yeah, there's two guys. Mythbusters.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
That was a great show. I don't know why.
They don't have it anymore.
There's a new Mythbusters, but it's.
I like the Foodie channel where they have challenges, whether it's eating a lot or whether it's eating super hot food or whatever. I like those shows.
Yeah, I emailed you guys the photos for
And
the
the
Mako
stupid barbecue
call.
show. I love
And I sent them to you too for the Mako call.
Yeah, let's see a wing or a package tray or a hat.
You putting them up? Oh, that's interesting.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. All right. Now, what are we looking at, Mark? What are you looking at? Do we have photos of something?
Almost looks like grease spots or something. I'm not exactly sure what I'm looking at.
She sent us photos?
It definitely doesn't look good.
Anita's photos. Okay.
Yeah,
Where?
it's kind of bizarre, man. What do you make of that? Doesn't it look like grease or something?
Oh, yeah, that's... yeah, but... Yeah, why can't you clean it? Anita, why can't you just clean those black marks?
Well, there's the black marks that are behind the headrest, and then there's the indents that are on the just above where the speaker is on the back dash.
Those indents, what are they?
That's what we don't know. Either they pressed down and caused the indents by their fingerprints, or they applied a chemical and it rotted out, and it sped up the process faster than what it needed to be.
And then over the speaker grill, there's some black mark, right? Or no,
yeah,
near it.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, this is something. That's got to be able to be clean. And then those indents, you have to be able to steam them out. They can't be permanently in that fabric.
They are.
So you brought it to a detail shop and asked?
I did, and then they said that even though the car is old and the sun could have done the wear and tear, however, the right side does not match the left side, and they said that that would be, and that there's no way that the indents...
Why is Mako such a pain-in-the-ass piece of crap organization? It is.
I don't know.
You know what? Mako, it sucks. Mako, it sucks. I mean, we get more complaints now. Okay, when I say we get more complaints about Mako, they're going to say, well, that's because Mako does so many cars in so many locations. So, okay, that stands to reason. Which Mako did you go to?
It was the one off of Cedar in Lakewood.
Okay. We haven't had complaints about that one. But Mako, in general, does schlock work. I don't know what to say. They do schlock work. We get, I mean, let's put it this way. Ask yourself, would you take a Ferrari to Mako? No, they're truly, because then you shouldn't take your Volkswagen either. I'm serious. That. I'm serious. If you want stuff corrected. Okay, now obviously you get what you pay for. What did you take it there to begin with? What did you take it there for?
I took it there to have some superficial work done on the for the paint. And
what did you have done?
They repainted the bumper, the front bumper. There was a paint splotch on the driver's side rear door, and then some of the paint work done on the bottom.
How did that happen?
Passenger side. Just previous accidents, chips, rocks, things like that.
See, Anita cares. Anita cares. They should take care of you. Listen, they can have it done cheaper. They should just take care of it. Let's call for you. Hold on, Anita. We're going to call for you. I'm so sick and tired of these businesses not stepping up. Come on, it gets to a point where you got to do it. And if you disagree with me, call. Suzanne, did you want to say something? Which one did you had your hand up on one? I don't know if we ever...
Well, it was just the PayPal. I know a lot of folks are using the app Venmo now, Tom.
Yes.
I don't know if you've heard of that, but that might be a good option for folks looking for cash payment.
That was also hacked. Did you hear that part?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, it sure was. Thousands of people had money drained from their account. Thousands and thousands of people. Yep. Angel. Hello?
Yes, Tom, hello?
Is this Angel or Angel, or how do you pronounce it?
Either way,
Okay.
I'm an Angel, whatever it works for
I'll
you.
say Angel because the other way doesn't come naturally to me. So go ahead, Angel. What's happening?
Okay, so thanks, Tom, for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
So I'm buying this almond roaster. It's a commercial roaster.
Yes.
I really need some help or some guidance. It's been built overseas, and they use liquid gas, propane.
Yes.
And on propane, it uses, on gas pressure, it uses 2 kilograms of gas pressure. That equals in liquid gas to between 25 and 30 psi. My question is, that equipment is coming here to Colorado.
Right.
Obviously, we're going to use natural gas.
Right, right.
What is the pressure that should equal?
You don't have to. Usually, you don't have to worry about the pressure because many of them will have replacement orifices that do it for you. You don't even worry about it. You just replace the orifice on the valve. I'm not sure how unique or how exotic this one is, but when you change from propane to natural gas, it's an orifice, and in the most extreme cases, there's a regulator. So you have to figure out what yours will require. If the orifice alone, and for those listening, the orifice is simply the nozzle at the end, and that by adjusting that nozzle downward, you increase pressure, or opening it decreases pressure. But in some cases, if you decrease pressure, you increase volume, which in some cases it won't work without an accompanying regulator. So you really need to ask the manufacturer what to do. In other words, like how do they convert that unit from propane to natural gas? Have you asked them?
Yes, and they don't know because there's never been a need. They always use liquid propane. There's no.
Why are you converting?
Because the commercial place that I'm putting this roaster here does not have. It will not allow me to have tanks inside.
Okay.
And the owner of the building is so great. He's willing to do all the labor and everything himself. He just needs that information.
We need to get an expert. We need to find someone. There are fireplace places I went to. I'm trying to think of the names. They do fireplaces and they do grills. They're a big place. Is it on Evans or something?
And Tom, what they told me that they sold another machine to a company in New York, and they couldn't use natural gas. They still using tanks just because when they start using, when they hook it up to a gas line, it was not heating enough for the product.
Well, the reason it's not heating enough with natural gas is because they have to increase the volume or the pressure, either one. I mean, that's where the regulator and the orifices come in. When you, for example, heaters, you can make heaters or water heaters or anything like that. Like with a water heater, there are some people that use natural gas and some people use propane. So what's different in those, Brian? What's different in water? Do you know?
No,
are they built for one or the other, or can they be
typically
converted?
They're built for one or another.
They're not converted.
Yeah, not water heaters.
Okay.
Just grills or even roasters. Typically, it'll say on there if they're dual fuel. Some of them you can't convert.
Okay.
Right.
You might have gotten in a situation where it can't be converted. They may not make a regulator or an orifice. But I want to find, Suzanne, if you can find this big grill and fireplace place over in Denver. I don't know why I'm thinking it's on Evans, maybe not.
Yeah, it's called Layers Fireplace and Patio on Hawley and Evans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Layers, you're absolutely right. Okay. Thank you, bro. So we're going to go, let's call Layers and ask if they have an expert that can just talk in general about fuels, and maybe they have some insights. 303-713-TALK. Hey, Robert, we'll get to you next. I see you holding there, please. 303-713-8255. Earlier, I talked about Centeno Schultz and living stem cell therapy, and I told you to avoid chiropractors. And I'm talking about chiropractors who claim to do stem cell therapy. I'm not talking about great chiropractors like BrightenYourFamily.com, Bright Light Chiropractic, Dr. Mike Hederscheit. Hey, as we go into the new year, why don't you just stop pain in its tracks? Chiropractic can eliminate so many forms of pain. Certainly it's non-invasive, and he does direct, targeted adjustments with a hand activator. No longer these big, giant tugs and pulls and twists and turns. You will love Bright Light Chiropractic. I'm a patient. Deputy Dan's a patient. And we've sent several friends and family there. Bright Light Chiropractic at 470 and University. A full workup, just $50, and adjustments start at just $30. Bright Light, or $25 actually. Bright Light Chiropractic, and it's brightenyourfamily.com.
Mako says they were nowhere near the back of that car, and that looks like a cat.
What was he trying to fix? What was he trying
So
to
they just say they plain said they didn't do it.
They're just not going to do it. Yeah, they just said they're not going to do it. They said there was.
Say it again, sir.
What was he trying to switch over?
A roaster.
A roaster.
From propane to natural gas.
Oh, you mean like a roaster, like a chili roaster?
I don't know, actually.
Okay.
Actually, I don't know about that. You reject it.
Well, maybe it was one of those comedy things.
He wants to use it inside.
So he's
got propane inside.
He's got to open up. He's got to have a bigger orifice. That's why natural gas is a lot lower BTU.
Is that what they told you?
Yeah, you just changed that. You just changed the jet. I've changed.
Right, but some things don't. Like my brother's got a heater at home for his garage, and he can't switch it over.
Yeah, some things you can't convert.
Yeah, you can't convert.
Because they really never made a kit for it.
Yeah. Or unless you get in there and drill it out and stuff. It's a lot easier to go from propane to natural gas.
That's probably what he was really asking. He was saying, how do I convert that formula?
There you go.
But yeah, I got the number off.
Because I don't think you got to change pressure. It's pretty much.
We got a really nice gas drill for the porch, and I put it, it doesn't work. It's like messed up. And I look on it, it says natural gas.
And you were trying to use propane? Well, that should have started and just be too much. It would be too big.
Too big or too little?
Well, no. If it was, you said it was ready for natural gas.
Natural gas. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's right. It made such a big thing. It wouldn't. Right. It was orange. It wasn't even blue. Anyway.
Too much fuel.
Way too much, and they didn't make a kit for it. And the guy.
And you soldered it shut and drilled it out.
The guy said, "Take your drill indexes, because I got drill indexes. Tell me what size it is." And he did something that says, "Solder shut, drill it so smaller. It works perfect."
You're going to say, I want you to tell Tom. Hold on, let me think Tell Tom you were reading about Ferraris, and they're all moving to 4-cylinder engines.
Okay.
Just like, say it straight, perfect.
Okay.
I was watching the car show. We're tying it in with the car show.
Okay.
Every Ferrari, that's a convertible.
So Brian, what's your expertise? So you're a mechanic, you're a plumber, electrician?
You know what? I'm not a technician by trade. I got into HVAC through the sales side.
Okay.
And worked my way up through the company.
Why 2 phones?
Personal
business?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
I've never seen people do that before, but it makes sense.
That is weird about the Ferraris, though. I did not know that.
Is it just the convertibles? That's what I heard. Tom, what? They're going to only 4 cylinders on the convertible Ferraris now?
I don't know. 4 cylinder? Who said that? I don't know.
That car show we just mentioned in England. Top Gear.
I don't know. How would they get speed out of that? There's only so much you can do with 4-banger.
12 turbos.
Yeah, turbos. Turbos, I tell you what, turbos really do.
Oh, you know, speak
a lot.
God almighty, my G-Wagon is a rocket. Holy
I love that. When I started it up, I had no idea it sounded like that. But I honestly, God, it sounds like a, I don't even know. I mean, it's got its own kind of unique, heavy,
absolutely.
It's like thunder.
Yeah, that 550, speaking of turbos, those 2 turbos on that are big on this.
Is it a turbo or is it a direct injection?
Twin turbos.
It's not a super, or what do you call it? A supercharger?
No, it's turbos, but
it doesn't wind up.
Here's the deal. That's the 5.5. Okay. They make a 6.3.
The AMG.
Yeah, the AMG.
I had one, and it was so scary fast. This one is fast enough for me.
I'm going to give it up, but my wife, she has that 550 in her little Mercedes. You never had any tickets till 2 speeding tickets are all
These brand new
over 100.
G-Wagon AMGs are $227,000.
Oh, that's top of the line, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the 550s go for like 187.
Wow. It's like buying a house.
Anybody would be insane to do it new. There's no reason to.
Not around here. It's not.
There's no reason to do it new. You can. I'm telling you, man. You can get them with hardly any miles on them for 70, 80,000.
Well, I don't know what yours is, but it could be a 2018 or
They're all exactly that.
Yeah, they're all the same.
They didn't do any body changes ever.
Yeah, they all look identical.
Ever.
That really helps hold the value.
And we'll customize the right program.
But for some reason, they're unique enough. People love looking at them. They love them.
Clint was saying they use pleather, though. They don't even use real leather. It's more of a synthetic. I can't even tell.
You know, fucking Mark. You don't do it anymore. I don't let you get under my
He
skin.
put me up to the Ferrari
Anyway.
today. So.
In England, they call the G-Wagon the cheap spot.
Tom Martino here. 303-713 Talk. One Clear Choice Garage Doors. Hey, something might go wrong. You need an emergency. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. What if your spring breaks? Do you know, most people don't understand the purpose of a spring. What's the purpose of a spring? I'm going to ask Clint, who's the knower of everything. Deputy Clint we call Forrest Gump, because he's been everywhere and has done everything. What is the purpose of a spring on a garage door?
To hold the door up.
That's exactly right. Damn, he knew that. So really, if the garage door opener works with the spring, do you know if the spring doesn't work, your garage door opener can't touch that door. Neither can you. Anyway, they do new doors, openers. Openers start at just $333 with Wi-Fi capable, and also the battery backups and all of that stuff. I love these guys. 303-565-6409. Just as a side little trivia, I always say this: OneClearChoiceDoors.com. The general manager or the guy, one of the guys in charge of the whole Denver, Colorado operation, I was there when he was born, literally in his house the day he was born.
Who?
The general manager there.
No kidding.
Right.
That's bizarre. Yeah. What were you doing there? Were you there for the birth?
Yeah, with friends of the family.
Wow.
Yep. So, Vernon, you're with Lair's Fireplace and Patio. By the way, I remember now, we bought a big outdoor kitchen thing from you guys, man. Did a great job. And we have questions. This roaster that Angel wants to convert, and he bought it. Where did you buy it, Angel? Overseas?
Actually, Mexico.
Mexico. And is it for roasting chilies, those big roasters? Is that what it looks like?
No, it's more of like a coffee roaster.
Like how is it bigger than a bread box?
Yeah, it's about 5 feet tall by 4 feet wide.
Wow. And it normally uses propane, right?
Yes, and liquid propane.
Do you know how many BTUs it generates when you're operating?
180,000.
180,000 BTUs. And you want to convert it to natural gas?
Yes, and they have, and they build it in Mexico. For Mexico, obviously, everything is a liquid. They use tanks, no issue. But here, we have to use a line, natural gas.
Okay.
And,
I want to ask Vernon in general. Vernon, you guys sell, of course, you sell fuel-powered equipment, gas-powered. And you have run into this, and I know you can't talk about that specific roaster, but in general, what's involved in converting from propane to natural gas?
Basically, what we got to do is we tap off the gas line.
Yeah.
And run the gas line all the way into the fire box. Then we put what they call a shut-off valve on there, or a ball valve.
Okay, that's for the safety, but what about for the burn? Do you have to change orifices or regulators?
Not really, because
what?
Most of the time, well, if you're going for propane, natural gas, you just got to change the whole gas line. And then the unit that you're hooking up to is going to be natural gas, so it'll already have the orifice there, so you wouldn't need to change the orifice.
I'm not sure you're understanding what we're talking about. In other words, what were you? Okay. Can you help me explain it? Because I know what he's talking about. He's assuming there's a natural gas line already there.
So it sounds like this roaster is made to take propane. It doesn't have the right.
Okay, I got you now.
It's
so
made to take propane.
On that one, yeah.
What's that?
You would have to change the orifice on that.
Now, on your stoves, are they made for propane or natural gas?
Either or.
And so you guys depend on the hookup to have the proper orifices and regulators, is what you're saying.
Right. A lot of times, yeah. And then whatever company we deal with, either they come with with what they call a conversion kit.
Okay. And what's involved in the conversion kit?
Like if you're going from natural gas, it's the orifice basically. On the stove, it's the orifice.
Okay. Have you ever heard of these roasters?
I have heard of them. I have.
And do you know? Have you guys ever handled anything like those?
Well, not the roaster part of it. We deal with the pizza ovens.
Oh, and those are made to run on what?
On propane or natural gas.
And the same thing applies. You change the orifice.
Exactly.
Is the manufacturer of those pizza ovens, do they develop a conversion kit so you can take one either way?
Yeah.
By the way,
and then a lot of times it all depends on which way you're going. If you're going from propane to natural gas, then there's a thing you can do. You can drill out the orifice.
Oh.
The orifice size.
Because when it goes from propane to natural gas, do you need to burn more? Do you have to have more volume of natural gas?
Right, because the propane comes out at a higher pressure, so you need the orifice needs to be a smaller gauge. A smaller diameter. As far as the natural gas is a lot heavier. Well, it doesn't come out as
now I understand. So you need to make the orifice bigger.
Right.
On natural gas.
I wonder if he could get one of the conversion kits for the pizza oven and apply it to that.
But I don't know that. But I don't know. I mean.
And then if he brings in, if you just that roaster oven, you could just take depending on what type of orifice it is. We could get the orifice too.
You know, Angel, some of these things, they unscrew right at the regulator.
Exactly.
And you can bring that whole thing in, and they can look at it.
Exactly.
Or you can always hire them to come hook that thing up, too. They have a great service crew.
And that was going to be my question. Obviously, without knowing exactly what I'm talking about, do you guys think that it will, if the machine comes here, that someone here in Denver can actually do that switch if you need to?
I think, and if Lair's doesn't do it because you didn't buy it there, they probably have a referral. Vernon, do you guys know good installers that would know how to hook that up?
You betcha.
Yeah, that's what I would do, Angel. Is that the number for Lair's right there?
That's the one I called. They have a couple locations,
Okay,
Tom.
303-756-3567. They're really good people. I mean, they've been around forever. I mean, forever. Vern, how long has Lair's been around?
Since 1954. It's been a long time.
Now, is it the same? Is it the same family still or not?
Yeah, still same family.
Are you kidding me? Now, is this the same Lair's that owns Lair's Flowers?
Well, that's a long story. They are family.
Uh-oh. All right. We won't get into that. Okay, well, thank you very much. All right. I sensed a family feud right there, but it doesn't matter. Thank you very much, Vernon. I remember dealing with Vernon. 303-713-TALK. We got a response from Mako for Anita. We'll come to that and more. And I want to remind you, we have lines open. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. As we near the end of the year, if you look at your debt, you may want to consider a bankruptcy. What you don't want to do is charge up your credit cards for Christmas and do it afterwards. Did you know that trustees can take a look at your spending habits and say, wait a minute, you're not allowed to do this? Because if they sense that you were trying to engineer a bankruptcy, it is bad news. You're not supposed to do that. But if you do need a fresh start, winkandwink.com, especially if you're facing a foreclosure. In some cases, a Chapter 13 can stop that. They stop the foreclosure in its tracks and allow you 3 to 5 years to catch up on the rears without penalty. 303-410-1720, winkandwink.com.
This report is sponsored by the Broadmoor.
Recipe is well sponsored by the Drive Across Town. For the most part, you're going to be
a formula.
Hamden, that's exactly right. Either side of River Point. I remember, I did that. It was like a number 47 drill or something.
A bit slow between
told the
Park
guy what
Avenue and
size it was.
Colfax.
He looked it up.
Eastbound
Said
6th
he
Avenue, the
remembered.
ramp taking
It was
southbound
small.
I-25 a bit slow.
It was actually a higher number.
Well, heading out
Like I said, my brother's got a heater. I don't know if they just can't get in there
No
sometimes.
delays
Or
on
they say they
Boulevard, though, where
he just looks
looks
at
all traffic.
He's got propane and switch set.
Side of 56.
But like I said, that's just like saying increasing.
Sunny today with a high of 56.
You know, right now I'm working on those antique
Traffic
stoves.
and weather. I'm Pete
It is so
6:30.
freaking simple.
How?
I mean, the pipe comes up there and goes across the front, and an individual valve goes out to the burners.
With the spectacular
And
way
there's
to
so
say
little
away
to
with the
those
family.
guys.
We'll
It's
take a
changed
weekend
so
just for
little
you.
in 100 years.
It's close to
It's
home.
like a barbecue grill.
Yeah.
Visit Broadmoor.com.
But
If you're thinking about solar power, think
Is that when you say that grill? Is that for the oven or is that for
The burners, for the
burner?
four burners,
Okay.
4 burners in the
So,
stove.
does it have a pilot light?
It has a, you know, I'm not sure if it has a
I'm sure it does, unless that's all they had back then was pilot lights. Or you had to do it.
You might have to light it if it's cold enough, yeah.
So,
My grandmother in Ohio had one, just stick back up
right,
there.
right.
But,
I guess that's the real old one.
you know,
You're right.
here, I'm going to ask you a question. This fireplace.
What are you looking for, Mark, to get?
Apparently in Colorado, over 8,000 feet, you're not allowed to
Mini bike?
non-vented in.
I'm just looking for
8,100 feet.
Where's it at?
It's at Oak Creek Canyon where we're going to put it up. It's we're 8,100 feet. But, so I'll
That's
have
where I
to
get
get
all my
someone to install it will do it because that, anyway, I'm going to cover it.
Everybody else is, almost everybody's $2.99 or more. They're
They have a
$1.99.
catalytic converter. And they literally.
Pardon me, what are we doing with the Mako problem?
Oh, just Tom wants to come back and update her.
Okay.
to deliver stem cell therapy with precision.
So $1.99 a gallon?
Buck
So you're saying the little
They're not
ones, they'll fit going up to $10?
Less than 10. And they'll put more in.
Oh, because they actually weigh it.
They make some CO2.
Well, the pressure gauge says how much they
Well, usually they weigh on stuff and say that's how much they.
Like when I pull the RV out, that's why you can't pull way down.
Right. But if you brought in a little.
They have a scale there, but I don't even know why they do that.
Well, that's probably for the little one.
Well, I mean, it looks just like a gas pump.
$400.
So when they hook it up, it almost looks like an old gas pump where it goes 1, 2, 3. So that's what I'm saying. That's, and then they write down how much it does. I don't know why they weigh it.
Because you might not be answering.
Yeah, but still.
Oh, I see what they put on there. I don't know either.
But it's way cheaper, man.
Where is it? What's the name of the place?
Well, I go to the Big R in Elizabeth.
Big R.
Just so you know, he finished that class, they said, so his next class is Intro to Biz.
So how did
Starts
he?
December 1st.
So he clicked through or whatever. What did he get? You know?
No, she told him he finished, so he didn't, there was nothing to click through on, I guess. She's like, no, you're finished, next class.
So he must have the 94.
Terminate303.com.
Oh yeah, but $1.99. So the propane shack in Castle Rock is $2.99. The one in Monument's $2.99. Who else fills up? Everybody was $2.99. This place out in Elizabeth, $1.99.
$1.99 for what?
Propane per gallon.
A full dollar difference?
Full dollar, man. 50% difference.
What do you use propane for?
In the RV.
Oh, do you pull up and you can do it that way?
Yeah, I have to. Yeah.
How many pounds do you hold, or how many?
Last time I took.
No, I mean, what is the tank? What's the
like about like that? 20.
It's a 50
I
gallon.
took 20 gallons last time.
It's a 50 gallon tank.
I don't know. Honest to God, I don't know how big it is.
That sounds about right.
What is a barbecue grill one?
Those little bottles?
Yeah.
Those are 5.
So this is 20, so it's 4 of those, whatever that would be.
Oh, you're right. 50 would be bigger. Although,
No, that's bigger than 20, Mark. The ones that I don't.
Well, you know what? Because I probably did have some propane left in it. I had, yeah. It took 20 gallons to top it off.
is your refrigerator, does it automatically switch from propane to electric?
No, it's all electric, man. I've got a huge,
Refrigerator?
yep, it's got a huge inverter in there.
So what happens when you're dry?
It runs off the battery. It can run off the battery for 7 days. It's huge too, man. It's as big as whatever you have in your house, maybe bigger.
I thought they were red.
No,
Hi,
they're
Tom
more-
Martino, your troubleshooter. GenesisTotalExteriors.com. Fencing, decks, siding, windows, eaves, fascia, gutters, roof material, and basements and baths, you know, just everything. GenesisTotalExteriors.com, and it should be Genesis Total Exteriors and Interiors. You'll love the people at Genesis. We say these for a reason, to keep you from getting ripped off. That's why Fix It 24/7 is here. Stop from getting ripped off. You'll never be ripped off by them. You know, I'm not saying they're 100% in every single call, but they try. That's what counts, too. It's when something goes wrong, what are they willing to do? Like with Anita, she went to Mako. And by the way, the body shop work you were fine with, right?
Yes.
But they put some grease. It's obviously grease marks. That's what it looks like. The indentations, I don't know what to say about those. I really don't. I don't even know why they'd be in there. These guys claim they were nowhere near that seat or that back at all, ever. Right? Isn't that what they say? Clint, you talked to him. We talked to him directly.
So the only time they were in the car was to move it in and out of the shop.
Why? And I can't see, you know, Anita, I'm not saying I don't believe you. I'm saying I can't see why they would be in your car at all. I mean, there's nothing to vacuum. What?
They actually have the video, and I had saw it.
What is the video?
The video was when the car was undergoing all the work, the body work.
Why were they inside? Why were they inside?
They said that they detailed it, but why, I'm not sure.
Was the car detailed?
Yes.
And you have video of them in the car?
They have video of them in the car, except the video is kind of it's grainy. Where the damage is that video is unclear, but on the passenger side you can see them going in and out of the car.
And they flat out said they were not in the car except to pull it in and out. So with the video, could they simply look at that video? Can you conclude from that video that they were simply moving the car? I mean, in other words, you didn't see them climb into the back, did you?
They didn't show the entire video. I did see them climb into the back, but I can't see the details of what went on in the back.
You know, first of all, how much did you spend with them total?
Total, it was $2,439.80.
To screw around with something like this is crazy, because guess what? Anita will never go to Mako again, and neither will hundreds of people listening to this. Of course, other people might say, yeah, I'm going to go to Mako. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. But I'm telling you that I personally would never use Mako. I don't know. I just won't. I don't. First of all, it's fast food in my opinion. And this particular Mako, they're all different. Are they company owned or individually owned? Do you know? Does anyone know actually?
I don't know, but I've actually had work done at that one, and it's one of the better ones.
Okay. So here's the deal. I would do small claims court. That's exactly what I would do. But I don't think you're going to win, because it's your word against theirs. You have the burden of proof. And really, I don't know what to do to help you. I, honest to God, would love to be able to rail on them, but I can't, because it's enough of a gray area. I suggest that people really, 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 really inventory stuff before and after. I mean, it's getting to a point where you have to do that.
And Tom, I'm seeing Mako is a franchise.
It is?
Yeah.
So that means they're individually owned. And there might be company stores, but what are you saying, Suzanne?
Line 4 might have some insight, he said.
Okay. Go ahead, Dave. What's happening?
Hey, Tom. How you doing?
Good. Thank you.
Hey, I would just wanted to ask if the spots, are they the black spots on the package tray, which is the tray underneath the back window, is it like a hardened rubber type material, or? The
material itself, I don't know. I don't know.
The black spot, yeah, because...
Well, the black spots look like grease. I mean, those are so minor, I can't believe they can't be removed. I can't believe she's going to have reupholstery done. To me, that's ridiculous.
The reason I ask is there's a substance that's used to seal up the back glass and certain...
But they didn't remove the glass.
Are you sure? If
yeah.
They had to do work on the back quarter panel to blend the paint.
They don't remove glass. They hardly mask the damn things when they do paint jobs. I mean, it's like... God, I remember one time some guy, his car was egged, and they painted over the egg. I mean, they didn't. I mean, it was like, okay, now the eggs match. It was like, you know.
Well, a good shop would remove the glass and all of the trim that is adjacent to that panel, touching it in any way. That's the only way you can get a good paint.
I have never seen a shop ever, unless you're talking about these really good custom shops, remove glass to paint ever. Okay?
Oh, no,
Dave?
I'm not. I'm just talking about a normal, even an
yeah.
average body shop would do that.
No, don't think so.
I've worked in the industry for 25 years.
Dave?
Yeah, we would always do that.
I'm going to tell you, let's just have a friendly bet, that most of the time they do not remove it, and you're saying most of the time they do.
If they're doing the job correctly.
Well, no, hold on. If they're doing the job correctly, I can say that about anything. I think they should remove all trim moldings, too, if they're doing it correct. Yes. But they don't, Dave. I'm telling you then, by your definition, most of the industry does not remove glass, nor do they remove molding when they're doing a paint job. Now, these custom shops that do hot rods and stuff, they remove everything. You literally have a shell that they're painting. But these fast food shops, even good body shops, they mask around moldings and they mask around glass. Don't you think they do? Dave?
I would tell you to talk to maybe some of your experts.
Okay,
let's
do that. I want to do that. I want to really talk to someone who'll give us an honest perspective on the body business.
Let's call the guys on our list.
Let's call them on our list. And we're not, listen, this is not an indictment. This is a search for information. And we have a lot more coming up. We will not forget about you. If you're on the line, hang on the line. We have more on the Troubleshooter Show.
Coloradans 62 and older.
That clock is a bit off. What was the time supposed to be?
Is cash flow tight? Are you retiring?
See if Colorado Auto buys it.
Okay, it was 11:30.
American financing. Reverse mortgages are loans that pay you monthly by you.
I'll just go by your cues.
Pull up any of the body shops from possibly losing your home if you pass away. And FHA
Count ready? 303-361-6942. Is that Colorado Auto?
Mortgage payments, and you have access to.
Just say we want information on paint.
Your home.
Yeah.
That's right. You still own your home. You now have access to your.
You should never remove the trim though when you
from American financing, you could feel confident about.
Well, no. I mean, they don't. They absolutely don't. But Mark, don't you think? I mean,
so conversations are.
I get so pissed off sometimes when I say, "Look, I'm paying a shitload of money. I don't want a mask." And they say, "Well, we mask it perfectly." No, I want it painted. I don't want it. I want everything done.
Paint peels from the edge. Hey, dude.
Yo, how are you, Tom? I'm doing good, Miles. What's new?
Not much. There's my girlfriend, Sarah.
Sarah? Yeah. She's LASIK. Have you looked in the mirror? Do you know how cute you are? Look at this guy. There's a little mismatch here.
Which expert did you want?
Clint's
Miles,
how you doing?
Good.
Just a little mismatch, in my opinion, but okay. It's all right to fish outside your pond.
I like the G-Wagon.
Oh, is that cool?
Yeah, I parked next to it.
You can take a ride in it.
I can?
Yeah, but please don't be like in your car.
No, I won't.
So the transmission is not literally a shift, it's a switch. So it looks like a shift. So people always do this, but you just click it. You know what I'm saying? And it electronically goes into gear.
Okay.
But it's just like a regular car. There's not a lot of technology. But the key is on my desk, and you can take it around the block. I want you to feel, if you can get somewhere you won't get in trouble, the power of that freaking thing.
Really?
Oh my God. It's
how much horsepower is it?
500, I think.
Really?
Or 550. Yes.
Jesus.
Careful.
I will.
Do you know where his desk is?
You paid for it. Seriously, just be careful. and be careful because it's heavy and it doesn't stop like your car.
It's very heavy.
Yeah. It's a big mama jamma. But you'll have fun.
It is big.
There's nothing really you need to know other than that transmission thing. People always do that. Kind of.
So it's just,
oh, and also, when the lights are on, that means you need to shut the doors. Those damn doors.
361-6942.
Then you'll see the light on saying those people had the doors open.
Okay, sweet. Thank you.
You look like a manager, Miles.
Supervisor. Close enough, right?
So you got through that first course, you're done, huh?
Yeah, my next class is Introduction to Business.
When's that start?
I think it's the 1st.
Cool.
Yeah, December 1st, and I have 60 days for that one. Which the last one took me 3.
Where are you taking it?
It's through my work. I don't really...
Is it only for Walmart people, though?
No, they have.
I've been trying to take some online courses.
Use TheraWorks Relief.
This non-greasy foam is proven
What is it called?
grams fast.
I always want to
Skills
speak of balance.
I need a few more.
Education.
I want to take the Colorado bar, and I need a few more prerequisites. And DU wouldn't let me do it.
Absorbs quickly and it works.
They won't take into consideration the work credit I got. I got a work credit from another school, and they don't recognize it. The most they give in work credit is 24 credit hours.
Doesn't everybody do the same bar? Like you take it at DU or CU?
Oh, the bar, yeah, the bar. I can't take
For that state.
Isn't the bar?
Well, that's it.
What's the bar give you?
It's
To become a lawyer. Really?
Yeah. You need you need a degree. In New York, when I did it in New York, you did not need a degree, you just needed experience.
Yeah.
In Colorado and New York now too, you need literally you need to graduate.
A law degree.
Now I have a lot of credit toward that, but I have to finish that.
Gotcha.
In other words, they won't just let me go in and take it.
Yeah.
So if I can find some courses to just take, combined with my bachelor's, combined with my work, I want to try to get enough where I don't have to go to 3 years of law school. I just want to see if I can finish online. And just enough to get a free Nintendo Switch to take the bar. I think I can pass the bar, actually.
Yeah,
it's a terribly hard test. The thing I would have to bone up on is it's really not the law, but the citing. You have to cite things, and they don't come off the top of my head. They allow you, it's an open book test, by the way. You're allowed to cite things that precedent based on cases, but you have to know where to look. Court precedent is it's pretty important.
I need somebody.
Now, Tom Martino on 630 KHOW.
Help me if you can.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Here to help you solve problems, to answer questions, to take complaints, and to make your life a little easier. That's what we do here. And this hour brought to you by, ta-da, Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Frank does it better than anyone. It's that simple. That doesn't mean he's the only reputable, good real estate person around. No. We have other good people. But Frank is just special. So whether you're buying or selling, check him out. Shop around. You'll decide on Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. If you had to pick one word to describe Duran, what would you say? What would you say, Mark? One word.
Man, one word.
It's weird.
Ethical.
Okay. Loving.
Yeah, that's good.
And that's
good.
Translates to everything he does, because he has it in his heart to do the best for you, because it's a true feeling and it's not just a commercial arrangement. And I think that's the best you could say about anyone. If I had to sum up Fix It 24/7, they're in the house today. Brian Remington, the general manager, is it safe to say, are you?
Yes.
Yeah. George is the owner, and I've known George for years. George Donaldson, if I had to sum him up, it's easy. One phrase. You know what it is? Do it right. That's it. Do it right. It takes as much time to do something right as it does to do it wrong. In fact, when it comes to scammers, Mark, we've said this before, it's more difficult to carry on a scam than it is to do it the right way. Do you realize we have people that are geniuses and have elaborate schemes to rip people off? And we think to ourselves, with less effort, you could make an honest living.
Oh, man, my GM got me for $250,000 way back when. This guy, I always said that if he just flew right, he'd be one of the richest men in the world. It's incredible.
It's like
they have to have the con, though, because that's their real payoff.
No, it
is the con.
They lie when the truth will do. You know, you've heard that saying, right? They'll lie when the truth will do. I'm going to get right to the phones. People have been waiting. Dave was in the auto body business. He had some comments on this Mako call we took. The Mako call really comes down to something very simple. She had body work done, and she got her car back with a couple grease spots on her fabric in the rear seat, on top of the rear seat near the headrest, and also an imprint. It looks like somebody put, their fingertips imprinted, and it didn't bounce back. I don't know why. According to them, they did all exterior work and never touched the interior except to move the car in and out. Dave, what's your comment? Go ahead. You said you had an additional observation. Since you've been in the business, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, Tom, just what I wanted to say is, again, if they even had to, if they broke some clips inside or somehow just...
How, though?
The material I was telling you about, urethane, it's like a caulk almost. It comes out like a caulking gun. If it dries up, you cannot remove it. It is set there.
It's black, and
it's black, and those imprints might have been from them trying to aggressively remove it before.
Well, there's no rubbing spots or anything. But one thing I do want to say is they did not seal the window. They did not remove the window. That they said they did not touch it. Nothing. Okay. They said the interior was not exposed. Okay. And man, I'll tell you, I'd love to go to your body shop if when you paint my car, you remove the windshield and the other windows.
Well, you've been there before, but I'm not going to mention names or.
Come on, that's not fair. What is it? What is
I'm actually not there any longer. But your wife, we had.
What's the name of the shop?
You know Billy, Colorado Auto Body.
Oh, they're good. They're good people.
Yeah.
You know,
and that's not where I work any longer, just so you know.
I'm really happy to hear, though, they go to such extent when they do paint.
Well, see, the thing is, real quick, and I know you got a lot of calls, but if you're doing like a windshield, something where it's up against the windshield or the back glass, you really need to remove that glass to do a proper job.
Well, I totally agree.
And a good shop will do it that way.
I'll bet you that you'd be shocked. You would be shocked.
The other thing I wanted to mention is that package tray panel can't be that expensive. If she spent over $2,000, they could just get one and just take care of it.
You know what? That's a good idea. Just replace the whole damn panel. Because
that's what you have to do. Yeah,
isn't that and it looks on hers like when you lift up the hatchback, that's on like some rubber cords and lifts up with the hatchback. It looks like that kind of back shelf. I don't know if it is, but you're right. Those whole panels, maybe they go to a what do you call it? A junkyard, a salvage yard, and get a new one. I don't know, or a replacement. It's just weird. Tony, what's going on with your ID? Tony?
Yes. Yeah. Hi, Tom.
Hey, man,
nice
what's happening? What's happening with your ID? Why do you think it's stolen?
Well, because I got a bill from Montgomery Ward's.
Who shops at Monkey Ward's ever?
That's where
I didn't know they were still open.
They're not open.
No, they went out of business in 95, 96.
No, come on, Mark. That long ago. Yeah. When did you get this bill?
I got it yesterday.
But they're not around.
Montgomery Ward, they got online shopping.
Really?
Yep.
All right.
They opened a credit card in my name. They got my information.
Well, they may not have opened a card. They can just hack your card.
I don't have a card with Montgomery Ward's.
No, I'm talking to... Oh, wait. Was this a Monkey Ward card or was this a credit card?
I can't believe they still exist online.
They have some kind of a card. They gave me my last numbers and my Social Security number and it matched perfectly.
Okay. So just say it's not you.
No, they're sending me stuff for the fraud department.
Good.
So
good.
And then I froze everything last night. I'm at my bank right now. I got everything squared away over here so they can lock it up, and I got a special password and all that.
Good.
So I'm just wondering. My question is, should I order like LifeLock or something like that?
Well, listen, this is debatable. I think nowadays we need protections, but we have to make sure it's sensible. Now, a good protection is a simple lock on your credit where you have to unlock it with a PIN for anyone to get an inquiry. That is the easiest thing to do, because without a credit check, they can't do anything. Although, how the hell did they get how did they open up a card at Montgomery Ward's without doing a credit check? Did they do a credit?
They did a credit check.
Ah, so a freeze will take care of almost everything. A credit freeze. Good.
It's all.
Well, you've done enough. You've done enough. A credit freeze is good.
The credit freeze is good.
Yes, it is. Yep.
What about the IRS or Social Security or anything like that?
Well, they're the easiest ones to deal with, because if your ID is stolen, they don't come after you for the... I mean, they'll know if it's you or not. In other words, you just make sure that you check with Social Security from time to time, and you make sure your card's not being used. But that is not a really big deal. The government is actually easier to deal with than private merchants.
Okay.
When it comes to ID stealing, because they know so many Social Security cards are being used. I don't think you have a problem. You did the right thing. I'm just puzzled of all the damn things to do with an identity. Montgomery Ward, what did they buy?
God, their website even looks old.
What did they...
They bought something, they charged it, and then they sent it back. Is what the lady... That's all the information.
So how much are they trying to collect from you, or nothing?
Nothing.
Oh, they were just letting you know.
No, they're saying I owe them half down now, and then they'll reinstate the credit card.
I think it's just a scam, actually, Tony. I just think it's a scam. I don't even think somebody used it. That's my opinion. Craig, what's going on with you, Craig?
Hi, Tom.
Hey.
Yeah, let me try to be as succinct as possible here. I got a telephone bill from Telecom USA.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if you know that the bill used to be included in with your regular CenturyLink phone bill.
Well, what is Telecom USA?
Well, I've used it because they offer a very cheap rate on international calls when you dial 1010-987.
It's a calling card.
Oh.
No, I do it from my home without a card.
No, I understand, but it's that concept. You have it's called a dial-through. So you have a dial-through account with them.
I guess so. And
Yeah.
now they send a bill separate, not within the regular
Okay,
CenturyLink bill.
I understand.
Okay.
CenturyLink, by the way, can be a billing agent for many, many services, or choose not to be. Sometimes those arrangements expire. So now you're getting a bill directly. What's the problem?
Well, they've charged me, and there's about 10 calls on here, and some of them are legitimately. I've called Europe a number of times, and it's pretty cheap.
Are they really cheaper than just doing like regular phone? Like, I've never thought about that. I don't have any international calling options. Do you, Mark? I don't have any. If I call internationally, would I be charged a lot of money?
Probably, yes.
I mean, so that's why these people, if they do it a lot, they seek these options?
Well, it used to cost me, and maybe it's gone up a bit now, but like about 10 cents a minute.
Where? Without this or with this?
With this.
And what does it cost if you don't have it?
I don't know. It's been a long time since I've looked into it.
So the problem is there are some calls on there you did not make.
No, there's 3 calls on here which I made, but they're charging me a long-distance charge for 720 prefix.
Well, why would you buy? But you're only charged on telecom if you dial the code, right?
Presumably not, because to me, the 720 was a local call, so I did not dial the 1010-987.
Well, of course you didn't. But if they were charging all of your local calls, there would be more than those 2.
Well,
Craig, are you telling me you've only made 2 local calls in that billing cycle, period?
Well, there's 3 local calls, and I believe to the 720 prefix, and most of the calls I make are the 303 prefix.
Okay. So you're saying any call you make on 720
but if he
goes through them.
If he doesn't put that code in, how the hell does it even know?
It's not. Somebody else did it. What is that number? Who is it?
It's a girlfriend of mine who has.
Okay. So they were calls you made, but somehow got billed under Telecom USA, even though you did not dial the code.
Yeah, anywhere from
weird.
About $1 a minute to 50 cents a minute.
Well, did you call them and just dispute it, or?
Now we get to the second one. I've got Telecom's bill here. It says billing inquiries, call 1-800-226-0014. They never answer the phone.
Okay, so next option. How about this one? Have you thought about just not paying at all and just wait for them to react to you? Then you can communicate with someone. Eventually, they have to communicate with you. Non-payment is one of the quickest ways to get communication direct.
Yes, that would be an option, and also my other option is to pay
just the amount you made.
Charges, which I think are legitimate.
Go ahead.
But not the 720.
Right, that's what you do.
Okay.
That's what I would do.
Find a new company, too, man.
Yeah, I don't understand, though. Something is truly wrong as to why you're being charged for 720. Now, here is what I suspect could be happening. Do you do this? Do you have an app or any kind of a profile with them? Do you have an account login? Anything at all?
No.
So, the only thing you have is this code.
The 1010-987, which I've used
what
successfully
would
to
prevent?
call.
Hold on.
Yeah.
What would prevent me for calling that code and doing a number right now? What prevents me?
I don't know. I think
that-
anyone can use it. And
Okay.
It comes up as a separate bill.
How do they know who to bill for it?
Through the telco.
No, what I'm saying is, if I use that code right now, is that code unique to you, Craig, or does
No.
everyone have that code?
Yes, they used to have commercials called 1010-987, and I presume what they link it through is they know that you're calling from the number you're calling
Yes,
from.
it only works like on a landline.
So does it only work on a landline?
Well, I've been using a landline.
Okay, so this is not your cell phone.
Correct.
All right. So so they know you're doing it from your phone. How do they know that?
I presume when you do the 1010-987, one of the computers clicks and says,
Okay.
oh, he's calling from
Okay, and then
my
they
number.
bill you. All right. So somehow that computer got triggered. I thought, and I suspected, that there's a profile somewhere, and you can put in the area codes or you'd specify your local area code, which might be 303, and then anything they see other than that. Like if you called, not 720, but if you called, what's Kansas, whatever it is, if you called that, would it go through 1010 or whatever, would it go through telecom, or would it go through, if you didn't dial the prefix, would it go on your normal bill?
That I don't know, because the other charges on here are legitimate. I've called the United Kingdom and Italy a few times.
Okay, I don't know what to tell you, man. I have no godly idea how 720, without dialing the prefix, if anyone listening can give us a clue, why they picked up 3 720 calls and you did not dial the prefix. Now, here's the other question. Do you have other 720 calls they did not pick up on?
Well, none are billed here, but I don't believe that I've made another 720, which is just my girlfriend 3 times, which has the 720.
So wait a minute. So you did not make, that's the total number of calls you made to her?
Yes, I believe so.
You're a bad boyfriend. You only made 3 calls in this whole billing cycle?
Well, what's interesting, too, is I have a Verizon cell phone.
And?
I'm not charged any long-distance calls for that when I dial 720.
Well, of course you're not, because it's not long distance. I don't know. I'm baffled. I wouldn't pay it, and I just wouldn't pay it. And I detest places where you cannot talk to people. Customer service is becoming dreadful when it comes to these online services. You know, these chats, they're ridiculous. The phone calls are ridiculous. That's the thing. Customer service truly sucks. One of the best ones I experienced was Google. When they call you back, they're like regular people. They talk to you. I can't stand when you get people that don't understand you. Why would you have someone on the phone that doesn't understand English? It's so amazing to me. But the worst, you know, the worst customer service are the big companies, and there's just no one to really talk to anymore like it used to be. 303-713-8255.
This report is sponsored by Hellsberg.
Don't you hate calling these phone these customers calls we get?
Walmart, I ordered this thing, a water pick from Walmart. 2-day shipping.
We get a lot. Why'd you get a new one?
Old one froze.
Do you have the one with the tank that you do, or do you have the portable?
It's got a tank.
You like that better?
I love it.
I have a portable one. Did you know the tank's in it? It's
Yeah,
kind of cool.
almost looks like a big toothbrush.
It's cool.
So, this box shows up this big. This big.
For my water pick.
They fucking sent me dishes. A big, huge box of dishes.
They put my water pick flosser sticker on this big box.
So I call up and I go, you guys sent me dishes. They said, well, pick it up, take it to the store, go to the back of the Walmart store where you can pick stuff up, then call us. We will talk to whoever's in the store and we'll tell them how to refund it. And I'm sitting here going, okay, the reason I ordered it, because I don't like going to Walmart. Now it's put on me to go fucking return this thing.
I can't either.
It was ridiculous.
Isn't his girlfriend cute? She's a sweetie.
She's adorable. There's a little flame going in there.
Is there a flame?
Oh yeah, there's a flame.
Now if he just makes it back with the G-Wagon in one piece, then I won't rob it.
White G-Wagon upside down over here.
I don't. Tom, do you understand that theory in the refrigerators that the flame and it gets cold?
Well, somebody explained it to me.
No, mine does not have propane.
Someone explained to me how that.
Yeah, I did one.
Hold on. Somebody explained it.
Heat exchange.
Propane. Okay.
It's got to be a drop in pressure because that's what cools.
Oh God, it was explained to me.
I know,
and it made perfect sense.
The new capless and K-free.
Why heat? Because it's cool.
Today, for the pilot
it was something to do with the evaporative process.
The window at the DIA West,
and then they
for a hung.
Oh, that
it evaporates. I know what it does. Inside this tube, it evaporates the coolant, which causes cooling on the coil, and then you blow air over the coil.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. I'm a consumer advocate here for you. And please always join us either live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on the iHeartRadio app, or download us on iTunes or anywhere else. And referralist.com, we're live too. I can't mention that enough. Referralist.com, so you don't get ripped off like these people. Robert, what's happening?
Well, Tom, I had an accident at 10 miles an hour on the parking lot of King Supers by 225 and Parker Road, and I was going away from the store on the second lane, which is the arrow points that way, and I was going in that direction when I started to make a left turn, and I bumped into a car, and the car was going the opposite way. However, I was the one that hit her, so on the driver's side door, and I didn't damage her too much. But according to the adjuster and claims department, they're the ones that will decide by a picture, not by what really happened. She was going the wrong way. That I am guilty of the whole thing.
Now, Robert, well, usually when you hit someone, even if they're doing something wrong, it's usually your fault because the theory is you could stop it if you were in control. I don't want to discuss that part right now. I need to ask what adjuster is making this determination. Is it her insurance? The Geico
is it her adjuster named Ciara?
Is it her insurance or yours?
It's Geico insurance.
Is it her insurance or yours?
It's mine.
Okay, so Geico looked at the photographs. Did your insurance company, Geico, tell you that you are to blame?
No, she said she would look at both pictures today.
Okay.
She already saw mine, and she would decide by 3:30 this afternoon.
Okay. Now, here are the consequences. If it's your fault, your insurance company will pay her damages, right?
Well, I only have up to $15,000.
Well, hold on. What do you mean up to $15,000? We're not talking about liability here. We're talking about property.
I'm talking about what it would cost to fix the car door.
Okay, so your property damage, you have a $15,000 property damage?
Yes.
That's the limit of your policy, $15,000?
Yeah, they won't let me increase it now.
Well, not now, after the accident, but why do you carry such small limits?
Not very smart.
So, how do you know that your property damage is limited to $15,000?
That's what they told me from the Geico insurance.
Okay. Now, Robert, it should not cost more than $15,000 if you were doing 10 miles an hour and slightly bumped her door. Do you think it's going to be more than $15,000?
I hope not. I don't think so, but I want to make sure which direction to go, to wait on their decision or to hire a lawyer to
okay, Robert,
check into.
Robert, you don't need to hire an attorney, I don't think. Listen, this sounds like a very simple problem. it was on private property, 10 miles an hour. You basically rolled into her door. Here's what I would do, or I would tell you if you were my father. I don't know. How old are you, by the way?
I'm 84.
So you're old enough to be my dad. So here's what I would tell you. I'd say, Dad, don't fight whose fault it is, because these guys have seen hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these accidents. If they say it's your fault, they probably really have considered it. And I wouldn't argue, because that alone, that argument, it's not going to save you anything. It's not, because your insurance is going to pay. You've paid for this insurance. Who cares if it's your fault or her fault at this age and at this time in your life? It's not worth the battle. So now let's go to the next step. If they decide you're at fault and your insurance pays, what's the big deal? It's liability. It's what you've paid for. So I would sit back and let your insurance do its job. That's what you have it for.
Yeah, and then when it's all said and done, call up Compass, and Suzanne will give you the number, but, man, you've got to really look at what you have for coverage.
I would like Compass to look at you, and really, I'll have them call you with your permission. They will look at every bit of insurance you have to make sure you're getting the best deal.
Yeah, do they have my home phone?
No, we're going to give them your number if you give us permission. Now, do you have a cell?
I give you permission right now.
Okay, hold on now. Here's what I want you to do, though, for this particular case. If they say it's your fault, it's not a big deal, Robert. It really isn't. It's not going to be points on your license or anything. It's just going to be a one at-fault accident. Is this the first time you've ever had an at-fault accident?
Oh, a long time ago I did.
Yeah, I wouldn't even worry about it. Right now, you had an accident a long time ago?
Yeah, about 15 years ago.
And were you cited? Did you get a ticket?
Yes, I got a speeding ticket.
Okay. Was it a serious accident?
No, it was not an accident. It was just speeding.
Oh, that doesn't matter. So this is your first at-fault accident. Don't even worry about it. Your insurance adjuster will make sure she decides this fairly. They're not anxious to pay claims, but if they think it's your fault, they'll pay it. Okay? And it's that simple. Now, if you have any other questions, we're going to give you a number. We're going to give you a number to call us.
Yes, I'll give them my number.
All right, hold on. Suzanne, give him, let's have Compass contact him directly and go over his insurance coverage. Now, we have a comment on I don't understand T-Mobile. Kevin, I don't recall discussing T-Mobile. What is your comment?
No, my comment is for the guy that was calling for international calls.
Yes, somehow he was billed for for long distance calling, and he never punched in the prefix 1010-987, and that goes to his Telecom USA account, and we wanted to know how the hell could these local calls be construed as long distance, especially when he did not use the prefix.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. I know that he needs to get rid of that telecom and go with either all the major carriers have international plans. T-Mobile has an international plan for $15 anywhere in the world per month. That's it.
Wait a minute.
$15 a month.
And no per minute?
No per minute. It's just $15 a month.
Wow. Have you ever heard of Telecom USA?
I never have.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. What about Google Voice? I understand that they have one of these plans for international calling, and they're pretty competitive.
I use them for the show a lot, Tom, but I've never heard of the international. For Google Voice, I use
303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I'm going to take all of your calls coming right up.
This is Denver's talk station.
How long is this break?
That turkey thing would have been funny. Trump says, off with his head.
I know, I was thinking that too. How come none of them ever do that? When did that start, Eddie? What president started that? That's a hell of a tribute. What's that? Pardoning the turkey. How old do you think it is? I mean, are we talking 1900s?
Target, Apple, and
I'm going to guess 1930.
Energy companies also hurting as
It's just
oil
like
prices drop
giving the
5%.
tax return.
The first time I've ever heard of it party turkey every year.
You've never heard of it? No. In fact, I thought Obama did
Canceling a conference call today with airlines.
He was a turkey.
Plane hit us after a 737 MAX crashed in Indonesia, killing everyone on board. Boeing delivering 241 MAX planes to airlines through October. And Israel threatening Airbnb with tax hikes and legal consequences for pulling rental listings from Israel.
Now this says November
19th, part of Israel's push to fight a global movement to
1963.
boycott the Jewish
President
state over
John F.
its
Kennedy.
Palestinians.
No, that's just saying Kennedy.
So Truman in 1949, Truman.
Pardon the turkey for the first time.
Imagining a better bank starts with looking at the
Why would
various
have you
ways most
heard of
banks
that?
offer
No, why would they do that?
Really?
I hadn't heard of it.
Capital
either.
One is
What?
building something better.
Yeah.
You
You've
can
never
open
heard of
Capital
it?
One savings
Maybe
account
they're
with one of the
all they
nation's
do.
best
God, I mean,
banks.
even as a kid, I remember it.
It's just,
It was always a big thing to
just
watch.
like lighting the Christmas trees. It's like one of those things.
Because I missed it too, Brian.
Capital One location or
I
from
missed
Partner,
one
let's-
location.
CNN says Trump kills turkey.
Partner, let's cook them up.
For consumers only.
Yeah.
Capital One NA member FDIC. Copyright 2018.
What are they parking it for?
And do they actually really pardon it? In other words, as soon as the camera's off, I bet, what do? Keep that bird alive forever?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's cook them up.
Turn loose on the freeway.
We got wild turkeys everywhere.
That's what you guys should have for Thanksgiving. A real pilgrim
You have them out by your
Thanksgiving.
place?
What's that?
Wild turkeys?
Oh, okay.
Really? Where?
Frank County?
Okay.
Well, I mean, they're like everywhere.
You hear them?
If a dog or something happens to be out, I mean, you only like when they're afraid, I guess, but generally you don't hear them at
Sounds a
all.
little bit weird, but my friend Goose hunts turkeys.
Yeah, I've actually.
Yeah, his actual last name is Gander, but his nickname is Goose. But he said they're really smart birds. They're super hard.
And they're tough to kill.
What?
They're tough.
You know, Ben Franklin.
Oh, no.
That's in the tech center.
Ben Franklin was quoted saying that he believed that turkey should have been our
Yeah, I remember hearing that.
That's that weird one that Lopez got involved in.
Lack of moral character.
Lack of moral character.
I mean, I can
Either
just go.
smart.
It's not a big deal, man.
Go online to belco.org/cd. Belco membership is required. Conditions and
I had
restrictions apply.
when I lived in upstate New York,
Belco. Banking
Where'd you live?
I just can't
Buffalo. Some buddies of mine would go
Maybe it's
out.
stopping you
They would go turkey hunting. I remember one time they brought one
Hey guys,
back.
Ross Kaminsky, and I'm here to tell you.
Did everything and they dropped them right in the fryer, you know, deep fried.
Yeah, I will.
turkey
I'll make
fries.
out.
It's like the best turkey I've ever
I'll just
had.
tell them you didn't know
Yeah.
you
I was
were going to have a
surprised.
kid.
It wasn't
And they plucked it and everything.
Oh yeah, they plucked it and everything and they
In-house
They
underwriting. Meaning
butchered it right there and dropped it right in one of them turkey fryers. Same day. They killed it. It was the best turkey I ever had.
We don't know the
Did you tell Hiram?
Yeah, I said Mark will be able to get it done. I just don't want to. I feel bad for doing this. He's a good guy. God, I got.
It was a part of our.
I think I don't know anything rotated my image.
I remember hearing if you put it in, it's too cold. The turkey's too cold.
I don't know what you guys but I know it's set the deck on fire.
Yeah,
You can see it in our house.
I was thinking
Free furnace with every drain cleaning. Let's mix it up. First 20 people only.
What's the biggest reason for drain cleaning? Crap in there or tree roots?
tree roots.
Drones that are stuck.
Drones, yeah, but they have to be under 0.55 pounds.
Hey, how did you remember that 0.55 pounds? I remember, Tom, I remember the stupid thing in trivia. Now listen,
That'd be kind of cool.
why the hell do they want all
Actually, if you had a pool, that would be really
cool? By the way, what happens to this drone I registered if I'm not using it? And what happens? There's no place to deregister.
Well, the weird part is you got to use a separate email.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. I have to tell you, my son and I, we have a little thing we like to do. Giovanni, we like to watch bad movies now and then and just comment on them.
What is a bad movie?
Like
a
Jaws,
horrible movie.
Not Jaws 1, but the like Jaws 4. Like
Yeah.
Jaws, when Spielberg wasn't involved, oh my God, they were so bad. And, you know, just like really bad movies. They're so bad, he calls them cringy, okay? Now,
Like A Star Is Born.
And no, I'm talking about campy bad, really bad, not opinion bad where some people think it's good. This is where no one would think it's, there would be no dispute. But I promise you, I have never seen a movie worse than this, and I mean that. When it comes to sets, when it comes to special effects, when it comes to how did you know? Mark, did someone mention
I was going to mention that too.
No.
There's more than one, Tom. There's like
my
4
God.
of them.
There's like, or maybe even more, yeah.
But Mark, really, how did you know? Did you hear Vonnie talking about it?
No, not at all.
We watched that last night, and we could not believe how bad it is.
I've never seen one, but I've heard about them.
Mark. It's fun to watch how bad it is. And then the triumphant ending. Oh my.
You know who loves that movie?
Who?
Jesse.
How do you know that?
Suzanne whispered it in my ear that he likes it.
Jesse, Sharknado.
I wouldn't say love them, but I've watched all of them from beginning to end. I'm up really late at night, so sometimes that's the only thing on. And
No, don't get me wrong. It's entertaining as hell because of how crazy, stupid, bad it is.
I heard it was based on a true story.
Yeah, right.
It could happen at any moment.
Now listen, this Sharknado thing, when was that made? It's so bad. When was it made?
There's a ton of them, man.
There's 4 of them, right? But okay, if someone saw this, you gotta weigh in on it. I mean, it was worse than the worst thing you can ever imagine.
Well, I think a tornado, hits the ocean, picks up sharks.
That's not the first one. It's not that obvious. No.
Attack of the 50-Foot Woman was on this last weekend. It's pretty campy.
Oh my gosh, Tom, there's 6 of them.
6 of them?
Yeah.
You know what that tells you? They must have made money. Why would they keep doing it?
There's a lot of weird cameos, like the guy from, oh man.
Which?
I can't think of the guy's
cameos in Sharknado?
Yeah,
nah.
Yeah, there is. There's
like
quite
in
a few.
The first one? Well, I didn't see it. Like, what would be in the first one? What cameos?
I've never seen them.
Mark, you have to see it. But you really have to be doing other things. Like we were talking and stuff.
Al Roker might have been in it. There's a lot of cameos in all of them.
They did it on purpose to be bad, didn't they? I mean, in other words, they didn't really think they were making a good movie, right? I mean, was this kind of like...
I was thinking of getting you the box set for Christmas.
It is so... The last scene of the first movie has to be... it was supposed to be triumphant, where you're going to look and go, oh my God, it really happened. Now, I love the guy's flying a helicopter next to a tornado. Okay, first of all, you don't even get he's a student.
Yeah, you're actually arguing how
Sharknado
is realistic.
And they go up to the edge of the tornado to drop in a propane bomb. They have a propane bottle about the size of a little bigger than whipped cream. I mean, it's not like one of the big ones, right? It's smaller than a scuba tank you put on, like a acetylene torch, that size, okay? So they take that, like this little propane torch, and it's rigged to blow up, and they throw it from the helicopter into the tornado. And when that explodes, it stops the tornado. It neutralizes it somehow. And then he's doing this in a helicopter. Now, the woman falls out of the helicopter and is gobbled up whole by a shark. The last scene of the movie, now she falls out of the helicopter and a shark in the tornado gobbles her up. So she's gone. But in the last scene of the movie, this guy has a chainsaw over his head, the hero, and a shark swallows him whole, and they're all lamenting and they're all crying about him dying, and all of a sudden you hear, and you see the saw with dramatic music, the saw cutting through the shark's tail, and he pops out and has the woman with him, and everyone starts crying with happiness, and this music plays, and it's supposed to be a welling up of emotion. Oh my God. Now they have to have done that on purpose to be like cringy.
The first one cost $1.5 to make.
I can't believe that, but again, I mean maybe. Oh God, it was terrible. Bill has a comment. I'm sorry to take time to say this, but if it gets you to watch it, please do it, and no, I'm not recommending it as a good one, okay? Now, Bill, what's happening?
What do you got to do, smoke pot to watch that?
No. I'm with my kid. I'm not going to smoke.
I know, I'm only goofing.
By the way, I don't even when I'm not with him, but go ahead.
Anyway, as far as that guy with that long-distance phone call, I got a friend that's in Belize right now, and I happened to click on the drop-down on Facebook for message.
Yes.
And there's a phone and a camera you can click on.
Oh, right, you're right. And you can use Skype too, right?
And Skype too. It depends. It depends if the people have it.
Why would anyone bother doing calls? You're right. You go broadband all the way. I never even thought of that.
Because not everybody does Skype. Facebook, almost everybody's on it.
You know,
there's not Wi-Fi everywhere though.
Well,
no, but I will say this, Mark. Wi-Fi is actually more ubiquitous than RF signals and
in Europe
and
it's everywhere.
Energy, right? Like third world countries, they're actually being able to develop more Wi-Fi than they can lines, of course. So it's opened up a lot of third world countries. I mean, you'll see people with a cell phone and they live in a shack, and it's crazy. Wayne, what's going on, Wayne? Wayne?
Yes. Hi, Tom.
What's going on with you?
Taking my call.
Yes, sir.
After the July 29th hailstorm in Greeley, it was pretty severe. Contractors came around handing out, pamphlets and things.
The worst way to shop, right?
Right. Well, anyways, he looked legit, so I hired him to do the roof.
Yeah, that's the way I hire him. They look legit, whatever that means. Yep, he looks legit. I'm going to hire him. I don't need to check him out. Okay, go ahead.
Their information. Yes, I should have gone to the Better Business.
Well, no, the Better Business Bureau doesn't tell you anything. By the way, and I want to make that clear, the Better Business Bureau will tell you nothing except complaint history and how they answered it. If they answered them all, you won't even know about them. And the Better Business Bureau is a for-profit business that rakes in the dough, and the reason I say this is because they tried to position themselves as some kind of an official organization, and really they're a disservice because of the what I consider to be the exaggerated impression they try to give to people that you're safe if you go with the BBB, and it's absolutely not true. Go ahead, Wayne. So you went and hired, let's get right to the part. Did you hire the company?
I hired the contractor to do the roof only. While doing the roof, they decided to rip my rain gutters off.
Okay. Uh-huh.
And then they decided that was just my problem to deal with.
Well, hold on. What do you mean they decided to that was your problem? Did they literally say to you, Wayne, we took your gutters off, tough luck? Or what did they say?
Well, he didn't really say anything other than, yeah, it was a mistake they didn't have.
Okay, that's at least they acknowledge it was a mistake. Now, some roofs you have to take off the gutters to do the roof, and then you put the gutters back on.
No, they destroyed them and hauled them off in the dumpster.
How old were the gutters?
They were probably on when the house was built, about 96.
Okay, and so...
At any rate, it's a project I was going to do in the spring, take them down and paint, but now I'm stuck without gutters. My wife has the daycare center, water's dripping right on the steps.
You need gutters. You really do. I mean, they were wrong in doing this.
And so when I met with him Saturday, he says, okay, well, I'll take $4 a foot off for the gutters, and I'm wanting to check. I said, no, you're going to put gutters on my house and back on my house, and then I will pay you for the roof.
Oh, but by the way, hold on. By the way, Wayne, I want to mention something. They do not owe you new gutters. They owe you a depreciated gutter, just so you know. I don't even want to start to reason because it's just the way it is. Those gutters were how old? 20 years old?
Yeah, but nevertheless, I had gutters, and I think they should be replaced with gutters.
That's exactly right. And since they
they
can't find used gutters, there's going to be an argument for betterment. Wayne, I get you, and I want to say right up front, I'm on your side. They should not have ripped them off. Here's the problem. Brand new gutters, okay, brand new gutters are going to better you, okay? You're going to say, well, I don't give a damn about that. I don't want them better than that. Then if you will accept, I don't even know if you can find used gutters. This is a crazy situation. And what the company should do is replace your gutters, period. Just replace them because they did wrong. That's what they should do. And that's what I'll try to fight for. But in the highly technical sense, if your gutters were 20 years old, and you were going to paint them or whatever you were going to do, somehow, somewhere, you're being bettered with new gutters. And that's the argument they're going to make. But anyway, I will fight to help get them replaced.
By the same argument, if you have a 15-year-old roof and the insurance company says, yeah, you need a new roof, they do pay for the whole cost.
Okay, Wayne, let's have that discussion. That is because you have replacement coverage. But if you do not replace your roof, you only get actual cash value. So, Wayne, here's what I want to tell you. Nowhere in America, nowhere do you get paid more than you lost at all, ever, unless you pay for special coverage. If let's use the argument. If I wreck your car, do you get a brand new car? No, you get whatever that car was worth.
Right.
So I think that they should put on new gutters, because where the hell are you going to find used gutters? You can make the argument that they're not going to find them, and it would take more time and energy to find used gutters than it would to just do new ones. But right. I'm just warning you that they may make the argument that you're being bettered. In other words, if those gutters someday needed to be replaced, now you have another 20 years of life. I don't want to get hung up on this, Wayne, because it's not your fault. I want to help you. So let's get to that part. Why would these a-holes simply say, we're not going to help? Why?
Was this an insurance claim?
Yes, it was.
The insurance company would probably just supplement them.
I don't know. They probably would.
Why wouldn't they?
Were the gutters damaged?
The way I'm reading it, it was take them down, prime them, paint them, put them back up.
Hold on. How much did they allow for those gutters?
Oh, they allowed, I don't remember exactly.
Well,
I don't have it right in front of me, but it was...
Let's take a price. Just take a price.
But at any rate, if I was to take them down and paint them to match the trim, I still have to take them down and paint them to match the trim when I repaint the trim.
Wayne, I agree with you. Here's what I'm saying. If they allowed you $500 for those gutters, okay, then anything, then if they would do it for that $500, you would be made whole. But if you supplemented new gutters, in other words, pay them the $500, those gutters were obviously damaged, and that's why the insurance company allowed you a certain amount of money. So if the new gutters, did they say they would do it for whatever the insurance, whatever they allowed for those gutters? Because if you could
he said he would allow $4 a foot taken off the bill, and it's my problem to deal with it. And
well, you know what? I don't know why the hell they're dictating terms. What's the name of this roofer?
Affinity Restoration.
All right. We have to call them.
Infinity, I'm sorry.
Infinity?
Infinity Restoration.
I think you would win. Yeah, hold on. I think you would win in small claims court. I really do. I think you would win, don't you?
Well, it's such a safety hazard, Tom, that I have to.
Hey, Wayne, Wayne,
get this done.
Wayne, I just asked you a question. Do you think you would win in small claims court? They destroyed something and refused to fix it. I think you would win.
I think I would.
And you don't even have to go into the safety hazard. That's not even part of this argument. The argument is they robbed you of something. They took off your gutters and threw them away. They owe you gutters. Let them make the argument for betterment. At this point, I wouldn't mention it, but let's call them. I want to call them right now and see if we can get a quick comment. Hold on. We got more.
This report is sponsored by Hellsberg Diamonds.
There's a few blips of delay here and there across the metro area.
See, when did they start making the cheap gutters? You know, when I say that they used to, like my gutters from A2 House and stuff, and you don't even bend them. You know, they're really thick metal. Do you have like thin metal, and usually like a 5-inch versus like a 4-inch?
There was an outline.
I know what you need for it.
No, it said I think the character from
maybe they've been around a long time.
So there's 3 different topics that you could use. So you could either do
what things you want to do in hydraulics.
Jay always says 5-inch, and then the downspouts same way, so a tennis ball can literally roll all the way out.
Oh, really?
And like, how does that
But you know
who
those
you are?
aren't cheap.
And then, or you could do the protagonist thing from the I'm going to do.
Versus the average cost to install galvanized or aluminum gutters is $4 to $9 per linear foot.
Are you most interested in to do the arts? And explain how that, like...
Well, it says the average cost to install, so I assume that's the gutter in that.
The coolest and best
Okay, all right, so, I'm just asking, I saw a sheet somewhere from your school.
What do you mean? Oh, you lost your phone?
No, it's in my car. I just got it. It's just weird, you know, you're used to the same thing every morning, but you wake up,
Oh.
just everything's different.
Good. I just want to
Where do you want to go?
I think the meeting's right around here, but we only have one car, that's why Suzanne's got to go get her IoT.
And then you send it to this person.
Hey, is Miles in there?
Money back guarantee, but timeshare termination team has never had because they have a 100% success rate. So to get out of your own personal timeshare horror story, including getting out of your 2019 maintenance fee, get in touch with timeshare termination team today.
Hey, go snag my phone out of my car in the back lot. Do you have a badge to get back in?
I'm going to.
That was the funnest thing I've ever done in my whole life.
It's loud, isn't it?
It's so loud. It's fast.
Thank you, Tom.
Just squealing tires.
All right, J-Man, see ya. Was he leaving?
Sorry, I was just thanking you for letting him drive the car.
Sorry about the dent.
Yeah, he says, I don't know how that happened. It wasn't me.
It wasn't me. It was there.
I already ate because I thought.
Oh no!
No, I ate. I just had some ramen. I brought it in a Tupperware and I ate it.
Is he off today? Yes. Tomorrow.
I don't know, honestly. When he closes, he doesn't go until like 4. So like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, maybe even 5. I don't know. It's like the only Walmart that closes.
Art supplies from Audrey, so I can't. So please don't get me that because Audrey said that she wants to get the art supply stuff. I'm asking for. I don't know if I'm asking for anyone else. Yeah, so I want art supplies and
Wood gutters?
Mahogany.
I like sweatshirts, and I just wear sweatshirts on too.
There's some woods that grow under in the ocean or in lakes maybe.
I mentioned boots. You were the one that
Oh, you mean the trees? Like, well, what are those trees?
But they're some of the best, hardest woods for
mangroves. Mangroves.
Is that what
Listen, do you want a headset?
I'm fine.
They said time.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I'd like to know any other comments from people who watch Sharknado, because I certainly, my son and I, we just cringed every second of it. It was the worst movie of all time. Anyway, Yvonne's got a comment on this roofing call. We're trying to get a call into them right now. Clint, did they answer yes or no? No, they didn't answer. Did you leave a message? Good. Okay, Yvonne?
Well, it seems to me from the attitude of the caller that maybe this is a regular practice by this company.
They suck, man. They can't just rip off gutters and say, sorry, your problem.
Yeah, but who's to say they haven't done this several times in the past?
Well, that's what we're going to check out.
I'll be curious what they have to say.
After you mention that, Yvonne, that's a good point. But I just can't believe. What would you do if they tore off your gutters and simply said, well, sorry. Oh, she hung up. I just can't believe it. I mean, Infinity, what are they called? Infinity Roofing? Infinity? Okay, go ahead, Robert. What's your comment?
Tom, hi.
It's Infinity Restoration. Okay, go ahead.
Maybe he's not reading the insurance paperwork properly. It sounds to me like he got paid to R&R for new gutters.
That's, well, R&R the gutters, he said, to remove and taint.
That's right, but I think he's misreading it. Who's his insurance carrier?
Oh, I don't know. I'll find out.
You got to look at that insurance work, because I believe what's happening here.
Yes.
It sounds like to me, from being in the business,
yes,
that he has gotten paid for new gutters, gutters, and he also got the roofing company is saying, hey, look, I'll help you out I'm going to give you $4, because that's what they're going to charge about $2 to rip them off. So he's actually going to get better.
I know what you mean. Here's what could be happening, Robert. I think this is what you're insinuating, that he got paid to remove and replace the gutters, and he wanted to remove and paint them and save some money and put money in his pocket. Now he's pissed off that he's forced to do the gutters.
Possible.
And here's another thing, Robert. If the company determined they were a total loss and needed replacement, their ripping off the gutters did no damage to him at all.
Right, and they're going to make him better by giving him $4 for ripping them off. And another company's not going to only going to charge him. You're
right. If. Now, this is a big if. So I agree with Robert. If Wayne was truly paid for those gutters, the insurance company determined they were worthless. Therefore, they did not damage him by removing it. Listen, folks, we have seen this time and time again. And this is one of those things where it ain't right, but it ain't wrong. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. That one woman who was hung up when they did something without her authorization, they replaced half of her roof without authorization. But she had been paid for the whole roof to be replaced, and now, because they did half of it free, she was complaining that they did it without her authorization, even though she was going to be better off financially. And then she said, well, what if I don't want that color roof? Well, here's the deal. Since you were given an insurance check for the complete roof, there's nothing preventing you from tearing off the new roof they did and putting on another one. Hey, Wayne, really quickly, are you positive they did not pay for replacement of those gutters? Wayne.
I'm not positive that they didn't pay for replacement.
Can we see, listen, Wayne, we need to see your insurance sheet, okay? We're out of time. Have a great Thanksgiving if you don't tune in again, but we'll be here tomorrow. Remember, save all your problems for me.
Hey, does it seem like your life really isn't your own? Tired of sacrificing your most valuable asset, the limited time you have on this earth, for a paycheck? This is Dave Logan. You know, my friends at Online Trading